All right, well, you guys ready for me to go get the host?
Yeah.
Go get the host.
All right.
Freaky Friday, motherfuckers.
What the fuck does Chris mean by go get the host?
I don't know, man.
Oh God.
Is he going method?
He's method acting. Oh god. Hope you're ready to be fully convinced tonight, Ryan.
I hope so. I would like to be convinced.
But this one's true.
What was that?
I'm
What the fuck was
practicing.
that?
That was on point, Steven, on point.
Oh,
What say you, Angel? Huh?
what say you?
What say you? Are you a believer? I put about as much time into this segment as Ryan typically does for his segments. So I hope it really comes through.
That means you put in weeks.
Weeks,
of
I'll reiterate. Make sure to write that in there.
The last one I actually put in a good few hours of
Oh my God,
research.
what is he wearing?
It's a real shame it got extra choppy when you entered the room.
Yeah, a little
bit.
Do you need me to do that again?
It's okay.
Oh, hold on. I got it for you.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris just walked in wearing a Blink-182 logo and some. Are those our nets?
What the hell is that?
Spy, baby.
All right.
All right, let's do this. Hold on one sec. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God.
Hold on.
It's so bad.
You got this, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coin Up Cowboys. Nope. One more time. We got this.
This is all staying in.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coin Up Cowboys, the podcast where four guys come together to share their hilarious experience and insights on a variety of topics. From dating disasters to workplace shenanigans, nothing is limits on the show. Each week, our four hosts bring a new topic to the table, and you can expect to hear some wild and entertaining stories. We'll share our own experience and offer our unique perspective, all while keeping things lighthearted and humorous. This is Coin Op Cowboys, the podcast where hilarity ensues and the only thing we take seriously is having fun. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Chris. My co-hosts are Angel, Ryan, and Steven. So sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh along with us as we explore the absurdities of everyday life.
Cue applause.
Wow, I thought there were two angels in the room.
Chris Angel. The magician for Freaky Friday.
Hello, everyone. This is Chris, lead historian, co-executive producer, and designated survivor of the Coin Op Cowboys. Wow. You must feel exceptional listening to this glorified narrator. The man of the people here for you, the people. Chris. Bringing joy and passion to others. A modern-day Kris Kringle or Christian Grey, whichever you need tonight. Wow. Well, anyway, we have a great episode in store for you. This week, we're getting freaky on Friday with a special Freaky Friday segment where each cowboy fills in another cowboy's typical slot. I'm sure you're in for a treat. We're on Spotify, iHeart Radio, Stitcher, Apple One, Google Podcasts, basically anywhere you go for your favorite entertainment. So enable those notifications to be the first of your friends to listen to the coolest geniuses on the planet. We plan to read your feedback on future episodes, so comment if you have anything. Say, like, subscribe, follow, and rate us. Now, without further ado, let's see what the boys are doing. What's up, guys?
Hey, Chris, that was a great intro. I thought it was Angel.
I know. I get that a lot.
This is right easy up in the house. We're gonna get crazy in the skeezy.
Oh, we're gonna get canceled. really tiptoeing the line there, Risey. What up, Turd Burgers? It's your boy.
Hello.
Wow, it would be great to do this podcast on time.
Guys,
I really wish I had my typical role this week with all the shenanigans going on in the world. The fake fires covering up the UFOs in the
Hey,
sky.
Ryan, you don't talk.
The UFO crashing in Las Vegas. You see that one? You see that? The Vegas crash
Excuse
in
me.
Vegas?
You don't know what I'm going to talk about, so you should probably not talk about things.
He sounds like a South Park character.
Are you talking about the UFO crash in
Ryan,
Vegas?
you fucking goddamn. Now I go to do a new segment.
I got something special to say out there. You listeners, you got friends, right? I mean you got us, but you got other friends, maybe not as good as us, but you got friends, right? So the thing is, when let's say your friends are like, hey man, let's get together and do this thing together, right? Let's come over to the house, let's hang out together. Let's go down to the courts, let's do a pickup game of basketball because you want to do it together. It's almost like, let's say all the friends download the same popular Diablo 4 game together, and they get online and they're ready to play together, with one exception. You guys ever have that one friend who said, hey, I can't let you interrupt my campaign on Diablo 4, so peace out, I'll see you guys when it's all done? And I'm talking to a certain cowboy named Ryan. Ryan, when are you going to join our party?
When we finish the campaign and we do the harder modes.
That's
the time
that's gonna take weeks. And then by the time we do that,
I'll be there by Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, but see, by that point, we're moving on to a different game, right? We got that vampire hunting game coming out. We got that ghost game.
But the vampire hunting game, that game fucking flopped.
What about Demonologist?
My favorite part about Ryan
really good game.
is we were all on the other night. How's my audio levels, Angel? Is it better now?
Much
Okay,
better.
we're
Thank
all
you.
on the other night, and he refuses to join our party. We could have up to 4 people. He refuses to join, so it's just 3 of us cruising around. And then someone else joined, made the 4th. Glorious. Finally, we have our 4th member. But Ryan is still on the call in his own party. And the whole time he's asking us to care about what he's going through. He's saying things like, how do I do this quest? How do I do this? Where do I go? Blah, 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 blah. Well, Ryan, we would help you if you were in our party, but you refuse. So I hope you die to all the demons on that game.
So
You died a
rude.
lot. You died so
we're all
much
higher
that night.
level.
Like a lot of
I died enough. I learned.
We heard it.
Yeah,
He'd bitch about it when he would die, and we couldn't save him.
I'm now level 25.
Wow.
Got an ultimate.
Oh, so you're actually behind
Yeah.
us. I don't think you could join
No.
our party because you're going to throw off
I'm,
our campaign
I'm
that's
level
ahead of you.
33, but I'm restarting anyways. Barbs are so broken, dude. They got nerfed to oblivion. I can't even do damage.
Wait, so what are you now, sorcerer? We have
I
3
haven't
sorcerers.
officially
in the group?
changed yet. I'm gonna take a gander at each one of them. I heard every other class is cool except for barbarian. So I saw some.
I realize with our, I think when we're playing video games at our age, I feel like we don't have a lot of
Yeah.
time. So I think there's something to be said about, I need to jump in this and I need to be doing what's fun. If it's not fun, grinding 20
Yeah.
levels, you're not doing it right. You gotta switch.
Yeah, I heard something like, "Oh well, barbarians." After they get their ultimate gear at the very end of the game, they're actually pretty good. I'm like, dude, that sounds like so many weeks of trying to get that. I'm either good now or I'm not playing it. I don't know if I'm going to make the late game fancy gear that takes a bunch of runs to get. I'm not going to get it all the way to that.
That's why I picked the sorcerer. You get the flashy shit right from the get go.
Still too
Yeah,
too
they
loud.
know
Angel?
No, yeah, it was when you go into Ryan voice.
Oh, I just get
Your
I
normal
just get
voice
too
is fine, but when
excited,
you go into
Angel. I
Ryan
just get
voice-
too excited.
That sounds way better. No, I'm glad I spec'd out and started all over as a rogue from Barbarian.
Well, what happened was in
That was a great
beta,
choice.
barbarians were epically overpowered. So what they did was, well, when we release the game, we're going to nerf them just so they're more average. But they overdid it like they always do. And now people don't want to play them. I'm sure they'll buff them again at some point, but I'm not waiting around.
So, see, the problem is I'm enjoying the story way more than I expected to with the Diablo game. That's why I want to be
I'm
solo
gonna
until
I'm gonna
I
listen.
finish.
I'm gonna
finish the
redo the
tale.
game. I'm gonna listen to the because I don't know one goddamn thing that's happening in that game. I'm just like skip. I had this one chick with me, and her mom was like dying, or
Oh, that's where I'm at right now. I was in the middle of that dungeon when I left to join this podcast.
oh,
If someone wasn't 20 minutes late, I probably could have finished the dungeon.
it's 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Then let's just
There we
chop
go.
and get to the
There we
guts of this
go.
podcast.
Let's do this. Dude, I like it. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to share this almighty wheel of power. I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to see that. But actually before we get to that part, I need to make one adjustment because this will be the most uncomfortable show if I keep this here the whole time.
Oh
so,
my god.
Why did you have a banana in your
You're giving
pants?
Angel way too much credit.
Chris just pulled out a
What are you talking
bruised
about?
banana from his pants.
Attaboy. Yeah,
all right. I feel like I'm in the seat of power right now.
So
all right,
Chris,
let's get this wheel
Chris
going.
Angel,
man.
how are we introducing ourselves today? Are we picking an ice cream flavor?
Oh yeah, dude, you're right, dude. Psh, we have a very major way of kicking it off. We want to hear from the boys, so we'll go around the room. We'll go ahead and introduce yourself. But I have a question, a very key question for you. My question: what movie would you want to watch for the first time again? And in that movie, if you could elaborate a little bit on the scene that's just gonna move you and make it all for you.
Gotcha.
I've got my movie picked.
All right. We'll get some stretching.
Hope I'm not first.
I'm ready. I'm ready,
Oh,
baby.
Ryan's ready. All right, Ryan, kick us off. Tell us.
No, you
tell
gotta
us what's
spin the
up.
wheel. You gotta spin the wheel.
Spin the-
Just ignore the fucking wheel.
Well, no. We got to do all the intros right now because if I do the wheel, we're gonna go do the segment. So we got to do the kickoff, then we'll spin the wheel. So take it away, Ryan.
All right, guys. This is Easy here, and I love movies. I know movies. You know, I'm better than Steven at my knowledge of movies. Now, if I was to watch a movie for the very first time for ultimate shock value, I would watch the original Saw.
Ooh. Bzzz.
How old were you when you first saw?
That must have been like junior year, so like 17 years old.
Okay.
And that was a fantastic movie. It was innovative for its time. Nobody knew what these torture fucking horror movies were. It wasn't too far. It was done classy. And the ending of Saw was one of the most shocking endings I'd ever seen. And it came out of nowhere, where fucking Jigsaw just picks himself up off the floor. He's a dead body the whole time and just says, "Game over," slams the door, credits roll, and the epic music just sends you out of the theater. It was great.
Wow.
That's how it ends?
Yeah. He's sitting there watching them as he puts them through their trials, and he gets up and says, "You fucking failed." Says "game over," slams the door, locks him in there, and the guy from The Princess Bride is dead.
Crazy. I thought it was a comedy, and then it started getting scary, and I was like, oh,
Who would
that's
ever
not-
think that's a comedy?
Saw? So why would
I don't know. I just thought it was.
nobody ever thought Saw was a comedy, Angel?
Well, you've met me.
Have you ever seen Saw?
I did. I saw, but I did not saw the last of it. I did not see the last of Saw. I did not saw the last of Saw.
You never saw the entirety of Saw?
I never saw the entirety of Saw.
Ugh.
I only saw the first part of Saw.
What's the first part of Saw?
The first part of Saw is that the thing where they have like a machine over the head and the doll's like coming on like, "Welcome to my game.
The bear trap?
There's a key in your eye.
Yeah.
You dumb bitch. Get it out."
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, or is it the saw your leg off? I don't know. It's
The
one of
Saw
them.
Your Leg Off was the first one. It was classier. The other ones are just lame.
Well, I don't think the first Saw starts off with the bear trap thing. That's like the opening scene. The cutting off your leg with the actual saw, that's like halfway through the movie.
I
Oh.
thought that was like the.
But the first one is like a legitimate thriller with like a puzzle going on and mystery. And there's a couple of gross out scenes that are intense. It's not built around just getting grosser and grosser and grosser.
Yeah.
The first one's a good film.
All right. I think that's a great pick, right?
Thank you, Steven.
so solid.
I did enjoy the original Saw. I thought it was really good.
It's okay.
You've never seen it, Angel.
It's not a
Oh.
great comedy.
Listen, if anybody knows movies, it's me because I go to like one movie a week. I have the AMC pass. It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
It's a great deal. I go two movies. I go to 2 movies a week. Okay.
Okay. This is a tough thing because my first instinct was like, what was the best pair of tits I ever seen in a movie? I want to rewatch that again for the first time. Thinking Fast Times at Ridgemont High, chick coming out of the pool, unbuttoning her bikini. Dude, dope. But I am more of a fan of the twist endings and there's none better than The Sixth Sense, and that would be my choice to see all over again if I could, because I was like jaw on the floor when I saw that the first time. Close runner up is The Matrix, but just the whole movie, and there's not one specific scene in that movie that would. I like when he's like in the office and they're like, "You need to go now," and he's like, "Huh?" Like, and like move left, and he like just trusts the machine, and like that was really cool. Or when he goes into the Matrix for the first time. Anyways, passing it on.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, Matrix wasn't a good comedy either.
Angel's such a
Pick.
troll.
The Sixth Sense was good for two
Yeah.
views. One for the shock ending, and the second one to watch how nobody interacts.
Yeah,
with
you're like,
Bruce
there's no
Willis
way. There's
the
no way.
entire
Somebody
movie.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit older, and when I was a little bit older, because I wasn't allowed to watch PG-13 movies when I was 13 years old. So parents were weirdly strict about that. What's the best twist ending of any movie of all time? Can you think of a better one?
That was pretty good. Armageddon. A little
Twist
bit
ending.
there. I guess not really a twist, but you weren't expecting
Yeah.
it. So
I don't want to miss what is.
I hate when you know there's a twist ending. I like when a movie you have no idea that there's going to be a twist ending, and then
Or
there
you're
is
like,
one.
oh, I'm going to go see this movie. They're like, oh, yeah, go see that. The ending, you'll never see it coming. You're like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
no, there's something that happens at the end. That's
like every M. Night Shyamalan movie is like instantly
the
fucking
twist is there is no twist.
ruined.
nice.
Chris,
Angel,
with those
what you got?
glasses, you look like you're giving us this biggest stink eye ever. You're just like,
Oh, The Mist had a really
Jesus.
good twist
You know
ending.
it.
Did you ever see The Mist?
Oh,
That's
Oh,
so fucked up.
Dude,
So brutal.
I hated that movie.
I've never seen it. It's not a comedy. All right. Terminator Chris, the host.
Let's hear it, Angel.
You ready for the movie I would watch again for the very first time with that experience of awe? Talking about a twist ending, okay? Ocean's 11, best movie ever made.
What?
Ocean's
Are you
11.
kidding?
Ocean's 11.
Say Bellagio on the vault floor.
On the floor, dude. The whole thing was mapped out how they go over it. Oh, dude, brilliant. I'd love to have that feeling back.
You know what movie was better than Ocean's 11, Angel?
Ocean's 13, The Revenge.
Ocean's 8. Ocean's 8 with Sandra Bullock. Oh, masterful.
That movie was that movie. If you the fact you like that movie tells me a lot about your taste.
You don't like Sandra Bullock?
I enjoy Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I never watched the movie, so I can't judge it.
Okay.
But I mean, come on.
I can tell you it's better than Ocean's 12.
Actually, you need to have like a better appreciation for the movie saga to enjoy Ocean's 12. If I'm honest.
Ocean's 12 is trash.
Because at first I'm like, this is a stupid ass movie, and then you go back into it, it's like, oh my god, he's actually working for his boss, and his boss is the daughter was the guy he was sleeping with, or the girl. I don't know. But
It's
it
probably
was
the
stupid
worst
at first.
heist movie I've ever seen.
But
in my life.
13 redeems it. 13 redeems it.
Oh man, you guys are missing a very obvious choice from the 90s. Let me lay it on you fellas. The Lion King. When Mufasa died?
When Mufasa died?
Oh man, dude, that'll bring
So you want to do that again? You want to get sad again?
dude, when Mufasa died, that would bring any 12-year-old boy to tears. And you're
You
sad.
fucking weirdo.
I want to feel depressed again.
The thing is, it's part of the movie. Like, you have to get through Mufasa dying and then Simba running off into the desert. And you're like, oh no, how's the movie gonna end? And then he grows up, and then he has like the moment where he's like, Simba, you gotta take your place in the circle of life. Return to Pride Rock. And then he's like, I know what I need to do. And he runs back and like kicks like lion booty. So that thrill, that high, you gotta live with Mufasa dying, but you love the high when he saves the day at the end.
It's a good film.
Also, you guys forgot to talk about the speech.
That's a great speech. I
Man,
did
it's
not
one of-
appreciate that
it's one of-
speech when I first saw it as a child because it seemed good. Now it's just like so corny. It's even better.
I've never seen it.
How
just
have you
gets better
not
with
seen the
age.
speech from Independence Day, Angel?
It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy
Do you only watch comedies?
exclusively.
Then you probably like watching your sex tape because it's just fucking laughable.
Yeah, dwarfs everyone else.
Oh yeah.
I see
Just
you've
trying to
seen it too.
Pack the fudge.
Oh boy. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to let loose the almighty wheel. Here we go. Let's see what we got this evening. It's going to be fantastic. We're starting off numero uno in the great live event. Here we go.
Big money, baby.
I can't even see it spinning. Oh, Ryan the Brain.
Ryan the Brain.
Okay, I get to go first. All right.
Boom.
That was the choppiest wheel spin I've ever seen in my life.
I saw it was like one FPS.
1 FPM.
That's right. It's all I can afford, but
Cool.
it works. It was good enough for Diablo 4, just not good enough for Ryan on Diablo 4.
I'm honored to take the reins to go first on this fabulous Freaky Friday episode. So in honor of our good friend Steven, I just want to talk about, getting older. We're in our 30s now, and fear is different in our 30s than it was in our 20s. In our 20s, we used to feel mortal. Now, all kinds of things bring fear into our heart. You hear a creak down the hallway, you think you're getting invaded, you want to grab your gun and shoot something. You see the news, the economy's crashing, you worry about your savings. When we're 20, you had $100 in your bank account, you didn't give a shit. So, but these days, fear is different for me. And I have two experiences. I'm only going to tell one story tonight. I'm not going to give us like 3 stories like Steven likes to talk about fear. But on these pieces of paper that I'm holding up to the camera, I've got an A topic and a B topic. Steven, which would you like me to talk about today, A or B?
A for asshole, because you're being an asshole right now.
You sure you want A? Are you sure you want A?
Well,
Now, yeah.
I'll go B.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, fuck it, let's go B.
All right. So within B,
You always
Yes.
you always take the
Yes.
second briefcase. If there's anything I learned.
within B, I have written down Pom Juice. Steve,
Show me A. Does it also have Pom Juice?
A does not have Pom Juice. I'll show you what it says within A, but we won't talk about what it means. Within A, it says tree.
Okay.
Okay.
Completely different story. Equally fearsome, but we'll talk about B.
I'm glad we got Pom Juice.
Now, this was a deep fear. This is the most fear I've ever felt in my life. But in order to understand this fear, we have to circle back to when I was 21 years old, spent a lot of my money, and took a trip to New York with 2 of my good friends and one of their girlfriends, who wasn't 21. So we had a great time in New York, just wandering around the city, just like finding places to drink, trying to get to places that they'd allow a 20-year-old in, and we'd get to have some drinks. So the majority of our trip, as single young men, and she was an ex-girlfriend even at the time, but she tagged along because we already booked the tickets. So these 3 men and the girl were wandering around the city. The 3 men clearly wanted to meet women, but the ex-girlfriend was there and it was kind of cock blocking us the whole time. Well,
Wait a minute.
3 dudes.
So 3 dudes
Who's X?
and 1 ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
So the ex-girlfriend was one of those 3's.
Correct. It was
Original girlfriend.
the ex-girlfriend of our friend Bluff.
Okay, Bluff.
Who takes their ex-girlfriend
The tickets are purchased.
on
The tickets are
vacation with
purchased.
them?
Everyone, they're poor.
So were
They were very poor. We're not going to eat that money. They were coming.
were they together? No. Was the girlfriend and the boyfriend together when the tickets were bought?
They were broken up at the time, but they were like cordial. It was fine.
We
Whatever.
broke up with who?
They cordially bought airplane tickets for a vacation after they were broken up. All right, noted.
No, we bought the tickets when they were together, Christopher.
That makes a difference.
But then they broke up, but because we spent the money, they came anyway. It was fine. Whatever.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But who broke up with who?
I don't remember. It was mutual.
Oh my God.
Whose side did
Okay.
you take?
Oh, the boys' side.
Bluff.
Of course. The man.
Oh, all right.
The man.
Knuckles.
So I wander around the city, meeting no chicks because we got the cock block the whole
I'm sure
time.
that's the reason.
But
Was she actively like was she making a point like nah? You're not
well,
gonna do
number
that.
one, we couldn't go anywhere with 21-year-olds only are allowed because she wasn't 21. So that was issue number one.
Extra party.
But one night,
Did she want to get?
Christopher, let me continue. You're keeping us from the bulk of the story. We got a long way to go. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So one night, she went to bed early, and so did our friend Hike. They both went to bed early. So me and Bluff, we had like a 6-pack of beer, and we went to like the roof. And there were a bunch of like Irish people on the roof just hanging out. And when we went and we started hanging out with them, sharing drinks. They were like drinking champagne or something. They were sharing champagne. They're all super nerdy, but they were fun to hang out with for a bit. And we were just sharing stories. They were there for like some kind of like Irish festival parade or something. And we're hanging out, getting pretty toasty. And then one of them says a magical phrase, Angel. They say to us, hey, let's call up the sluts.
Let's call up the sluts.
The sluts.
All right, it's getting interesting.
So me and my friend Bluff, we both look at each other at the same time. And they go, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, the sluts are downstairs. Like, well, yeah, call them up. Bring them up. Well, why not? Just bring them up.
Bring them up.
You had
Bring 'em
sluts this
out.
whole time and didn't tell us?
Yeah, I don't know why they weren't hanging out the whole time. I guess they didn't think two ravishing young men would come up to the roof.
They probably weren't 20 years old, 21.
Keep them in the cage.
So the two ladies came up to the roof and started hanging out, and they're sharing drinks. Two ladies, two single men.
2 + 2.
Right? Okay. 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
There you go.
One of them was a little bit more attractive than the other one, so both of us gravitated towards that one, and we're both trying to like make our way in.
Naturally.
And you know, the more attractive one, she grabbed the beanie of Bleph and put it on her head, and I took that as a signal that I have lost the battle. And I moved on to the other one. I started to pay attention to the other one and let them do their thing. So I was hanging out. And you know, I started getting bored, and I was like, all right, you want to go downstairs? And she goes, yes. I was like, okay, great. Now, we were staying at a hostel in New York. So in our bedroom, it was like bunk beds shared. There was like 4 bunk beds for the 4 of us. We're all sharing a room. Couldn't go back there. So I had her take me back to hers. And it was a fucking pigsty in this place. The shit was everywhere. It was disgusting.
Yikes.
Well, we go to the room and we're sitting there and we start, you know, just kissing and hugging and touching. And then she goes, I'll be right back. I go, oh, okay, cool. So then I'm like sitting there, like I know what's coming. All right, I'm excited. And I grab my wallet. And I open it, and inside my wallet, Christopher,
Yes.
is a Trojan condom.
Good brand.
And I pull it out,
Magnum.
and I
Attaboy.
and I stare at it, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And I put it back. I don't even want anything to do with it.
Oh, $7 million bull rider here tonight.
I don't know why I did that night, but I said, fuck it. It's New York. I don't give a shit. So she comes back and we do our thing, and I take her to Pleasure Town. Okay? Like about 45 minutes later, after good Pleasure Town,
5 minutes.
I'm done, and I pull myself off of her, and I look down, and my thigh is just covered in blood. I was like, what the
You didn't
fuck
smell
is
it?
going on here? So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. So we're in a hostel. The hostels, you don't have showers. They're like communal showers. Like in your room, you see a light like, hey, shower B is open, whatever. So there's no shower in the hotel room. So I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And she like wanted me to take her with her. No, I'll be right back. So I run to my floor, go in the fucking shower in my floor. And inside the bathroom, there's like shower gel. So I take the shower gel, and I just scrub all the blood off of me. And I'm just taking care of my member and just scrubbing vigorously. Just get off of me, whatever's on me. And there are like beads inside the shower gel. I like exfoliating beads or something. I don't know what the fuck they were. So I showered, and then I just texted my friend Bleph. I said, you need to come back right now. I go to my room. Bleph comes back soon after. We pass out, and I wake up the next day. And things aren't all right the next day.
Oh man.
My penis was on fucking fire.
Whoa.
It was burning.
Crazy.
Burning like crazy.
Oh.
So we still have like 2 days in New York at this point. So we're walking all over the city. I'm just scared the whole fucking time. At one point, we saw their parade. And I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. Don't want to see anything to do with these Irish people.
Oh, top of the morning to you.
We go to like a Yankee game. I'm going to the bathroom, just looking at my dick the whole time. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you burning?
the whole
2
dick was
days
burning or
later,
just the tip?
It felt like the whole fucking thing was on fire. No idea what was going on. And back in these days, all the young people out there, we didn't have smartphones. Like I couldn't just like look on the internet and see things. Like it costs money, a lot of data to go on the internet with my fucking flip phone and figure shit out. So going on the airplane home, it's miserable. 6 hours on an airplane with a burning penis. The first time I get back to work on like next Monday, I started a shift at like 6 a.m. and I was Googling on the internet. And you know what? You know what I found on the internet, Steven?
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I discovered that there was an AIDS epidemic in Ireland.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Oh my-
It gets worse.
I'm like, no fucking way. The one fucking time I decide to not use a condom, I found someone with AIDS, and now my life
You earned
is
your
ruined.
Red Wings,
I
right?
go to the
Your Red Wings.
I go to the bathroom, and I'm just staring in the mirror at work, and I was so pissed off. I like punched the sink, and then the sink broke, and water was going everywhere in the fucking.
Jesus.
So I called my boss. I'm like, I slipped and the sink broke. I don't know what to do.
What's going on? I got AIDS.
And they told me to like turn off the water or whatever. So then I go to a Planned Parenthood. Well, first I went to my actual doctor with Kaiser.
Yeah.
And I go, hey yo, like my dick's burning. What can I do? And he gives me hydrocortisone. He says, here, use this.
Doesn't even
It's like, okay.
That does not sound like a solution.
doesn't even
"Oh."
test you. Doesn't test you.
I
Like,
go, okay, can I get a test for HIV? He goes, no. I go, why? He goes, you'll be red flagged. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He refused to test me for HIV.
what does that mean? Be red flag.
I don't fucking know. It had something to do with like insurance. I don't know. But he refused to test
I've
me.
been tested so many times. Like my dick's burning. Oh, I don't know, chlamydia, gonorrhea. Like you don't want to test me for anything. Like sounds like a quack.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He refused to test me.
But question I have, so how many days was your dick burning for?
Oh, it was like weeks. Like my dick is still burning at this point.
Right now, today.
Weeks?
Weeks?
No,
Jesus.
no more dick burning today.
But
Oh. Could
you had a
you
burning
imagine?
dick for 3 weeks.
It was much longer than that, Chris. Just wait for this.
And you managed to keep your composure.
Did you ever go on antibiotics?
No, I never got antibiotics. So the only thing I ever got prescribed during this whole tale was hydrocortisone.
For fire crotch?
Did you ever?
So-
Okay, keep going.
So then,
Such a 21-year-old thing to do right now, by the way.
so then I go to Planned Parenthood and I find one. And I walk up to this place. I'm like super nervous. I don't know what the fuck to do. And I walk up to this window and she slides it open. I go, hey, it burns when I pee. That's the first thing I say to her. And she goes, you're in the wrong place. This is for like pickups or something. Go to this other one in like Santa Ana. I'm like, okay, so I go fill out some paperwork and I get my blood drawn. My code word was always Todd. So I'd get my blood drawn and I'd call Planned Parenthood like multiple times a day. It's like, hey, are my test results in? My code word's Todd. I go, no. So a couple weeks later, I finally get like my first test result. Comes out negative. All's great. I should be happy. But no, I go on the internet. Internet says HIV can lie dormant for 6 months. So for like 6 months, I'm constantly going to the doctor, getting tests, saying my code word, getting negatives, but never being satisfied. I'd wake up, laying on a pillow, and it'd leave like a mark on my arm. Like, oh, that's a rash. Oh, that's a symptom. Fuck. I'd look in a mirror, have some shit on my tongue. Oh, that's a symptom. Fuck. I'd look at my eyeballs, see red veins in them. Oh, that's a symptom. Fuck. Always just feel like shit all the time.
You
for
are
6
like
months.
triggering me right now, and my hypochondria is flaring up so heavy right now. I relate so much to this story. Like, I have been in that exact situation where you do something sketchy, and for like 6 months or whatever, like I'm sure it doesn't even take that long, but for 6 months you're just freaking out, just straight up freaking out, and every little thing you're like, oh well, this and this and that is probably a symptom. It's probably something. And every time you go get tested, it's negative, but you're never happy. I do that. Like, oh my God, dude, you're triggering the shit out of me right now.
Steven, is your penis
No.
burning right now?
I did go through something almost exactly the same. When I was 18 years old, I graduated, went to Cancun for like a seniors trip. Don't know why my parents ever let me go down there, but I went there and I was hooking up with this chick like all week long. And at one point we did it in the shower or something, and there was blood. Or no, I think there was blood. So I went to the shower to vigorously scrub my member, as Ryan would say, to try to get the cooties off me. And then like I got back home as an 18-year-old kid. I like didn't know anything. And I'm just like Googling as an 18-year-old kid. And I'm like, oh God. I swore when I got to college, I was like, I have AIDS. I have AIDS. I did get mono from that trip though. So it was scary because I did get like really sick after that Cancun trip. Like the lymph nodes in my neck swelled to the size of softballs. Like I had a huge lump on the side of my neck, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're dying." And I'm like, dude, I think I have AIDS. Like I have like some sort of cancer, this and this and that. And I kept going to the doctor and he kept running all these blood tests on me. I was doing like a blood test every day. The doctor's like, you're really fucked up. And then like after a week, he's like, I don't know, man. Like, he was testing for like the same thing over and over again. He's like, I think it's this, but you keep coming up negative and nothing else is like really showing up. But you're obviously sick, your neck's swollen and all this shit. And about a week and a half, I finally tested positive for mono. And then the dude looked at me like with the biggest relief in the world. He looked at me, he's like, dude, you honestly, I was extremely scared for you. I was about to send you off to like oncology or to like infectious diseases or something because I was like convinced that I think you had something severely wrong with you. But you tested positive for mono, so congratulations. It was like a really nasty case of it that lasted like 3 months and scarred me for the rest of my life. So no, here I am, hypochondriac. Thanks for triggering me, Ryan. You're bringing back
so I feel like
old fears of mine.
I feel like I'm the opposite, Steven, because I spent the 6 months of my life completely miserable and it ended up being nothing at all.
Yeah.
So the moral of this story for me is I've learned not to really worry about these little things because I feel like half the things I felt were just developed by my brain.
Your brain's powerful though.
All with me like obsessing over shit. Like I don't think my dick was actually burning for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Might have been the next day
in your head
that it was actually burning, but the rest of it was just my brain freaking out.
I went through all that and my brain played tricks on me, but I still haven't learned to shut it off completely. Like those fears come back like all the time with different sicknesses and stuff. So I don't look on the internet. I don't Google symptoms. If I really need to go to the doctor, I just go to the doctor and talk to them about it. Like that's like my game plan for fighting the medical and anxiety.
Yeah, nothing good was earned in this world from WebMD.
No. Dude,
that website
I
should be
Googled like
banned.
headache after watching like a Scrubs episode at 18 years old. And at this point I didn't have the anxiety. And I Googled like headache and they're like, oh yeah, like that's a common sign of like leukemia and this and cancer and that cancer, brain tumors, aneurysms, blood clots, strokes. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like a headache. Whatever.
Yeah. Stay away from WebMD.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Now the piece of paper that Steven picked said the word Pom Juice. There is reason for the Pom Juice.
I was waiting for that part.
So during this,
it's a bit of an inside joke.
So during the 6 months of me just fucking freaking out all the time, thinking I was dying, I always felt like shit. So I was constantly trying to find things that would make myself feel better. I was always like, oh, V8 juice, that'll fucking do it. Oh, these fucking pills from GNC, that'll do it. But nothing was working. And then eventually I found Pom Juice. I was like, oh, this is great. Pom Juice actually made me feel a lot better.
You know what makes you feel better?
It's like the one thing.
Finally, after 6 months, you get like a negative result and you know you're in the clear and you're like, oh my God, I don't feel like shit anymore. It's like that stress that you're carrying around all the time just brings you down. It just makes you sick. It makes you think you're sick. Like, I'm just happy to know, Ryan, that I'm not the only person in the world that went through this. What you're describing is so exactly the same of things I felt before. I never heard anybody else go through it. So I'm happy.
It only took like 10 test results for me to finally go, hey, the statistics are showing you're probably okay. So move the fuck on with your life.
Yeah, like most of the testing now, like they can detect stuff like much more early on. Like 6 months is like just like the safe zone.
That's what it would say. Like on the internet, it's like, oh, it's probably right, but it could be dormant for 6 months. It's like I'm gonna be the one.
I'm gonna be the one guy out of 1,000 that gets it to last 6 months. Some people are naturally immune to it too, which is crazy to me.
Ryan, we're glad you survived it, and you were here to tell the tale to all the other coin op cowboys out there.
Yes. Now I do have another tale of this New York trip.
Ooh.
Now you know how I like to say we can't have a podcast without a poop story.
That is what Raizi would say.
That is right.
This is what Raizi says. This is one of my most shameful poop stories.
Oh yeah,
that I have.
Wow.
But it's also one of my most proud poop stories that I have. Because we use the ability to convince somebody.
Okay.
So remember, I mentioned that we were staying in a hostel.
Yep.
So our room didn't have a bathroom, but within your rooms, you could see like which bathrooms were free. So you would see like, hey, this door opened. Now the door is locked. Now it's open again. So for whatever reason, me, Blef, and Tyke decided that it would be funny to go poop in the shower of one of the bathrooms and then go sit in our room.
You're such an asshole.
and wait
What?
and wait to see when the light would come on, and then we'd laugh because inevitably someone's going to discover that somebody pooped in the shower.
Oh fuck! You're the guy. You're the guy.
The three of us were the guys because all three of us men were doing this.
Wait.
Okay.
Together?
Was it different colors?
No, it'd be separate. And they're like, all right, you go do it now. And then we'd stop and we'd wait and then we'd giggle.
He called the shit poop.
Did you guys look at each other? Well, who has to poop right now? And you go, I can do one.
I could always squeeze one out.
I'm down.
Giggles. But as I said, the ex-girlfriend was with us.
Wait, did she do it
Very
too?
lady.
Whoa.
And we were able to convince her to also go poop in the shower.
Perfect.
How many poops were in the shower before somebody else walked in?
I mean, it'd be a single poop at a time. And then they're like, you go, you
Did you
found the
guys
poop.
look at it afterwards?
And then the poop would it disappeared incredibly quick every time. It was amazing how fast the poops disappeared.
Oh, so you're doing back-to-back poops. There was not 4 in the shower.
I mean, we were there for like a week, so it was.
You did this more than one night?
I don't remember.
There's a little notice up in the common room that's saying, "Whoever's pooping in the shower, can you please stop?"
To this day, I'm amazed that we were able to convince this girl to go poop in the shower.
Classy.
That's so good.
So
I
sorry.
feel very shameful to this day that somebody was cleaning up our poop, but we were able to convince this other girl to go poop in the shower.
Yeah. The lack of response just tells me people poop in the shower all the time.
Well, it's probably like a cultural thing. Like different cultures are coming to the hostel, and sometimes people don't know
You're
the
like,
poop in toilets. So it's probably not as rare as you think.
Those Kazakhstanians are here again.
Whoa. Jesus.
I don't know.
Oh,
Those
man.
the Polish are always pooping in the shower.
Goddamn Polacks. No, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like that you did that so many times. And it's not that hard to clean, dude. It's fucking just turn on the shower and it'll just go down the drain.
It would totally clog the drain.
No, these are fucking logs.
Logs?
These are logs.
Epic prank.
They're logs and pellets. It wasn't sludge.
Jackass would be proud of you for those pranks. You also spread hepatitis.
But long story short, with all my fear of getting AIDS, now I don't sweat the small stuff. You just kind of
Maybe that was just karmic justice for pooping in the shower.
Now that you meant, I never connected the two, Steven, but there's a good. I got my just desserts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, was your dick on fire before or after? Or during?
After.
So it was
Yeah.
karma.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Great
that
story.
That was amazing, Ryan.
Pom
Thank
juice. And
you.
that is why I always post pictures of pomegranate juice.
Well, now I get it.
That's why
thank-
Steven likes to
I
love.
need it. I've been very sick this year.
Thank you, Ryan, for sharing your perseverance and your shame. We appreciate it here at the Cowboys.
You know
But
what I found out during all those blood tests? I have great hemoglobin.
Great.
oh,
Good for
fantastic!
you, man.
Do you donate?
I do whenever there's
I don't know
blood
if I
drive.
want your blood. Ew. AIDS.
I got to donate soon.
You know the best thing about donating blood?
You lose burn calories.
Candy.
you get drunk real fast that night.
They said like donating blood burns like something like 2,500 calories. Yeah,
No shit.
I don't know the exact statistic, but yeah.
What?
I'll find out.
I would donate blood more if I didn't have to prick my fucking finger every time. That shit hurts so bad.
So, Ryan, we have a question from the listeners.
Whoa! Our first listener question.
A question for the Ryan himself.
Wow.
Special.
This is great.
Special you are.
This is great. Where'd this come
650
People-
calories per pint. Sorry, go ahead.
The people want to know. Listening to the porn episode on the podcast, I'm curious, what 5 websites does Ryan look at? Because you made a
Oh.
comment. You said, I only look at the same 5 websites. So I don't know if Ryan should just fess up and answer them, or if our co-host, Angel and Steven, should start guessing and see if they guess it correctly.
Mm.
I don't think you guys will be able to guess because they're all very
I know.
mundane.
I know. It's got to be Pornhub. Don't deny Pornhub.
No.
RedTube.
No.
Okay.
WebMD.
Are these porn sites?
It's very boring. There's nothing exciting about these websites.
I thought you were talking about
He
the
said
porn websites you look at.
No, it was on
No,
the
no,
porn
no.
episode. Like someone asked Ryan if he plays games
He
on his
goes
phone.
to.
He said, no, I
he goes to.
I look at the same 5 websites.
Metacritic.
Quora.
Oh, IMDb, Wikipedia.
No,
Amazon.
I would say Reddit, Metacritic, some sort of news site. I don't know.
Fox News.
TMZ.
TMZ, I'd be going to CNN. Dude, one of them has to be a news source.
Wario 64.
Wario 64 is that's on my Twitter, so I'm always refreshing that constantly.
All right, spill the beans. What websites? Did we get any right?
No.
Wow.
they're all very mundane. This is
Another
like
Pom
the
story.
most disappointing answer this person's ever going to get.
Yahoo.com.
So I'll go to pushsquare.com. That's a PlayStation website. I swipe right on my home screen to go to my news feed, and I refresh that all the time. And then I'll go to IGN.com, another video game website. I'll go to neogaf.com. That's a video game forum. What else do I go to on my phone?
That's like four.
Those are like the most common things.
Weather.
No, I don't really care about the weather.
So Ryan is saying that he never looks at porn. That's what he said.
I go to Screamscape. That's like a theme park website to see what's new. That's
Where
about
do you
it.
watch porn?
Video games and theme parks.
All right, we have to answer that.
So I don't go to the porn on the daily, but Pornhub is probably the number one source that I go to. That's the quickest and easiest. That has the least amount of pop-ups.
Nice.
Yeah. Although I'm like a bit disappointed. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, you know what? I want to watch porn again because I don't do it all the time. Like I see boobies on Reddit, but like I want to watch a porn. And I go on Pornhub and it's just like 10 minutes. Each video is 10 minutes, not even the full thing. And it's just like a bunch of trash. It's like the shit that nobody really wants to pay for. So it's kind of just leftover on the website. And I'm just like, eh.
It's just a bunch of amateur stuff, but
The amateur stuff's the best stuff.
yeah, sometimes.
No, that's like on the good stuff's on like OnlyFans, I feel like. But then you have to pay for a model, and I don't want to pay for porn.
No. You pay for porn.
You don't want to do the Pornhub subscription, Steven?
No. I don't even know what that is. What do I get?
There's a
What do I get?
subscription?
Yeah. Well,
What do I
so
get, Chris?
you can create a profile and likes, and then you can follow your other friends and see what they're into and not into.
Ooh, do they have
that's
a
from a Rick
feature?
and
Do
Morty
they have a
episode.
feature where like it could show that you're on as well, and then we can like both watch together and jerk off together?
Oh,
They
together.
do. I think they do.
Air high
Dude,
five.
circle jerk. Let's go.
There we go. Solid. All right. Thank you for that, Ryan. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
Let's-
so sorry to disappoint that listener with such mundane websites.
There you go, people from.
I got a follow-up question actually. Sorry.
That's all right.
Fucking when you're on Pornhub, what's your category you search?
It's confidential.
What? Come on. Everyone has the
German.
just pick one.
It really depends on the flavor at the time.
If I want to be like really
Like-
boring,
Like
like
vanilla?
Okay, let me ask this. Oh, if you want to be really boring, what were you gonna say, Steve?
it's never boring, Angel. It's never boring. It's deep kinks that I will not get into on this. I have family listening.
Oh.
I don't want them to know about my what is it called? Prolapsed anus kink.
Dude, that stuff is interesting. I get lost in that
My
for
scat porn kink.
So I prefer to look for stuck porn.
That's a winner.
You can't go wrong.
You know, you get stuck in the couch cushions and you just can't get out. I don't know.
You can't get wrong with some good old fashioned blowjob porn. Just blow. That's just solid blowjob with boobies. That's a good go to. But
Big or little?
I don't care about the size of the titty as long as the areola comes proper.
Proper.
I would always just go to the model page.
Yeah,
and
that's a
just
good idea.
See who's top ranked and who seems
I feel like
most
that's a better
interesting at the
strategy on
time.
something like that is because if you just search like blowjob, big tit, threesome, like if you just search that, you're gonna get like just a bunch of junk. But go to the model, find one that you actually find attractive, and then look through her videos or his videos, Chris, and
Johnny Sims.
you just find out what you want to watch at that point. It's a better strategy. I'm gonna try that next time, Ryan. I haven't done it like that.
You know what's funny between like all the porn sites is like Pornhub and like all the other like quote unquote free ones. They all have the same exact shit.
Yeah,
They're all posted the same exact free videos. It's like 5-minute clip from this big one. I'll go pay on this Brazzers website. Go pay. It's like, joke's on you. I don't need more than
I
5
saw a
minutes.
chick recently on TikTok, and I think she does the pornos, and her name is Autumn Falls, and I thought she was pretty hot.
That's a pretty catchy name.
Every single one of those TikTok dancers, if you follow their fucking profile to like Instagram, there's always an OnlyFans link every single time.
And then I go straight to Twitter, and I type in their name plus the word leak, and I see it for free. And then I instantly move on with my life.
You cracked the code, Steven.
Yeah.
Autumn Falls. Okay, I see.
Man,
Autumn,
you're a cowboy from the LimeWire days,
yeah, I
huh?
am. Autumn Falls is pretty good. Pretty good.
Really big personalities.
Back in the LimeWire days, I was obsessed with downloading like the full pornos, the quality, premium, vivid pornos.
Was I the only one just trying to get Blink 182 downloaded? I didn't even know I could download porn.
As soon as I discovered that you could download porn, it changed everything.
Yeah. There was like the wave of like high quality porn, like Vivid or like the Nubile or whatever, and like those chicks were actually hot, and like the dude wasn't some cringy fucking steroid man, and those were pretty good. But they got to the point where that shit didn't get to the free Pornhub sections, or you get like a 5-minute clip of it, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, videos I click off of immediately is when the guy starts breathing and talking louder than I can hear her. I'm like, I don't want to hear you, dude.
No, I turn it off immediately when they do that one camera angle where you get to see his entire taint and balls going into her pussy, and I'm like, disgusting, dude. I don't need to fucking see what he ate for dinner, bro. Like, let's go.
Yeah, just real quick around the horn. Tentacles, yes or no?
that's an angel thing.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
no
I'm
big deal.
not gonna kink shame you, dude.
You guys are weird, but no big deal.
I think everybody has a right to like whatever they like as long as it's consensual. And
I'm just saying, tentacles goes the anus, comes out the mouth.
You can watch all the hentai you want. Just keep the tentacles out.
What's hentai?
Anime.
here's a good question. Have you ever been turned on by an animated film, feature, porn, whatever?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Dude, some of those League of Legends
Yeah.
characters, man, they could get it. Mercy. There was one that's Ari.
Overwatch?
Yeah, Overwatch, Mercy, dude. But
Oh, back when I was 16, Mei Shiranui. That was
Yeah.
the shit. You know Mei Shiranui from King of Fighters? Give her a
They
Google.
spell Shiranui.
I just remember the chick from Street Fighter.
Shiranui.
Sharana?
Look that up, Angel.
Dang. So she is so old that she doesn't have an Instagram page. She has a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, she was a shit when I was 16.
What
Yeah.
about,
I see it.
what
I
about-
see it. I see a bunch of cosplay girls do this one. Here, I'll send you a
dude,
link.
I always had a thing for Chun-Li, man. Street Fighter.
And speaking of Chun-Li, the new Street Fighter's shit. I got my ass.
I
kicked in
suck
that
so
game.
bad at fighting games. There's some so bad.
I'm only good at Super Smash Brothers.
I'm not good at that either.
It's not a real fighting game.
Ooh.
It's not a real fighting game.
Yeah, that's
It's
about
Give me
a
Button
a
button
fighting
masher.
game. How dare you? Super Smash Brothers is like the best fighting game ever. Number one, I'm really good at it.
Hardly.
And number two, there's like more options and like 6 people across the board. And you
I've gone to so many of gatherings where people claim to be pro at Smash Brothers and never played, and I'm wiped the floor with them. It's not a real fucking
bro,
fighting game.
I am nationally ranked, brother.
I will
I am
crush
nationally
you.
ranked. You
I
will
will
not
crush you.
Dare you? What do you play?
Any
What do you play?
day. Angel, you can pick any version of Smash Brothers. You can pick my character, and I
N64.
promise you, I will destroy
You promise? You
This
I
needs
promise?
to happen.
promise you.
GameCube.
Wait, I want to get in
Sure,
on this.
Because
I was gonna
fuck the
get GameCube.
Wii delay and that bullshit, and the Wii U and the new Switch. Fucking fuck that delay bullshit, because Wi-Fi or whatever, the wireless bullshit's bullshit. Just bullshit everywhere.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's
Pick
do it.
whatever version you want. Pick my character, and I will fucking destroy you. That's it.
You're not
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff, I'll tell you that.
I don't want to be. That's fine. Any
Okay, in that
character.
case, you are Jigglypuff. You're
Yoshi.
gonna be
Okay, then I'll crush you.
Jigglypuff. Okay.
Good stuff. All right, well, that was fantastic.
Anyway, you coinopians, don't live your lives in fear. Live life to the fullest.
Yeah, winning.
I'll drink to that.
Hashtag winning in honor of HIV.
Amen, brother.
Charlie Sheen.
And remember, the cream always rises to the top.
Always rises to the top.
All right, spin that wheel of fun, Chris.
The cream.
Here we go.
It's spinning.
The cream is spinning.
I like the nicknames. Steven the Hare.
Oh, baby.
Hey.
It landed on Steven.
All right. So, if we have already forgotten, since this podcast has gone on long enough, it's Freaky Friday. And this week, I have the honor of taking over the segment that our buddy Ryan usually does. And in honor of him, I have a bone to pick with all 3 of you. I have 3 bones to pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
aggressive.
Oh, no.
He's bringing it out.
This one is important. This is an important one. I have 3 bones to pick,
Raccoon bones.
and I'm not messing around. Not messing around, Angel. Anyway,
The tribone
you know what,
fecta.
Angel? I have a bone to pick with you. You want to know what that bone is, Angel?
Let's hear it. Bring it on.
Pouring wine in the microphone.
Yep, that is
Oh.
another bone. I have 2 metatarsals to pick with this. Oh God. If the ASMR,
Ladies and gentlemen,
wasn't enough bone to pick with you, I fucking hate you.
go ahead. Why'd you stop?
Okay, you know that I'm very sensitive to ASMR. It's like a very, very, very triggery thing for me. But my real bone to pick with you was about 4 weeks ago when we played PUBG. We played 3 rounds. 3 rounds, Angel. And every single round, you killed me in it on purpose.
You didn't deserve the win the way you were playing. I just thought it was a present for you. Gift.
It was the first building we went into. You shot me in the back.
Yeah.
It's a tell of your character. I'm not happy about it. I don't respect
I could pick winners.
Chris, don't think you're getting away from this either. I have a bone to pick with you too.
Bring it on.
It's a big bone too. It's a femur.
Whoa.
You know, there's a very
what?
unsettling trend that you've been kind of setting the last few times we've seen you at parties and get-togethers, and I have a bone to pick about it. You want to know what that is, Chris? You know what that is?
Tell me.
Okay. Well, Ryan, I think you can attest to this. When Chris shows up an hour late to our get-togethers that we have from time to time with all of our friends, he seems to show up and leave just about as fast as he shows up, making one round around the social circles and dipping without even saying goodbye. A big bone to pick about that.
Good old Irish goodbye.
That actually happens a lot.
He has been.
Chris just shows up to have a memory that he was there, and then off he goes.
Wasn't Chris here?
I mean, the sluts need me, right?
Yeah.
I gotta get back to them.
Wow. Now talk about me getting in trouble with my wife. Let's talk about that. Yeah, finally, let's get over to Ryan.
Oh, bring it on.
This is unfortunately the biggest of the bones.
Ooh,
Pick.
the biggest boner.
And I ain't talking about a bloody bone that you pull out of an Irish slut.
That's a soundbite.
Where do I even begin with Rye? You know what? I'll get right to it. What's really grinding my gears is that before every hangout, I get a fucking text that says, "Slick back hair night," all caps, exclamation mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, slick back hair night. And I respond, hell yeah. And I show up to the party like a fucking idiot with my hair slicked back. And guess who didn't do it? That's Ryan. And it's happened like 3 times in a row. And it's not like I look fucking good with my hair slicked back. I'm doing it for you, bud. And you let me down.
I slicked it back. Yours just looks better than mine.
You know what? These are 3 boner letdowns that I just picked with you guys.
Wow.
I love a good slick back hair night. I'll try harder to slick it better.
Yeah, you should. You should. All right, those were my bones to pick with you guys. And you know, these segments that Ryan always presents to us, we get a lot of like paranormal, alien shit. So like, all right, cool. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. And I think today I am going to fully convince Chris and make him a believer. Pause for effect. Do you know what I'm going to talk about, Angel? You know what I'm going to talk about? What say you?
Gay porn?
No, not gay porn. No.
Wow.
No.
I'm surprised.
Do you know where this story is going to take place, Ryan?
Las Vegas?
Wow. Prophetic. You know exactly where this event happens in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'm impressed.
Something quite out of this world happened there.
Oh, jeez.
So you might think that I'm going to talk about secret military bases out there, in the desert and stuff, all the secret military bases. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bring up phony, documented abductions from mysterious Russian cities that no one knows about or has any sort of evidence about. No, why would I do that? I've done weeks of research on this, and I have all of my sources. I am talking about a true, absolutely true, recorded factual story. Ryan, are you listening? Ryan. Yes.
I'm listening. I'm waiting.
Check the internet if you don't believe me. Check the internet. It's on there.
Richard Nixon
Richard
Library.
Nixon.
Let's go. The proof's there. The
Yeah.
proof's there.
I mean, Steven, the thing I want to know is Shaggy okay?
Wasn't me.
Because your Ryan voice sounds just like Scooby Doo.
Yeah. I did lose my voice
Yeah.
this week, and I'm trying my best to do the Ryan voice, and I know it's 90% there, so I think the listeners will agree.
They'll appreciate it.
Back me up on the video. All right, so this story happened recently, not some 1820s horror stories from Russia. So I think this is more relevant to us, Ryan, and more believable. Actually, it's true. On May 1st, there was a 911 call placed in Las Vegas, Nevada. Did you hear about this, Chris?
Isn't that a normal thing to happen in Las Vegas?
Very
Pretty
normal to have
normal.
911 calls.
Ryan's
but,
cheering.
very abnormal to get one of this kind. Let me read to you the transcript of the 911 call. So he calls in, ring, ring, ring. 911 dispatcher goes, hello, how may I help you? All that nonsense. The guy's freaked out. He says, we just saw in the corner of our eyes something fall down from the sky. It had lights and it crashed down in my backyard. There was a big impact. We felt like a huge energy burst and we heard footsteps outside. So he went out in his backyard and we looked in my backyard and there was this big piece of equipment and we see there's like these figures, these animal human looking things, but they're like 8 foot tall. It can't be a person. They're not human beings. We seen this in our backyard. Big eyes. They're looking at us. The 911 dispatcher's like, yeah, okay. You know, they probably get calls like this every day, crackheads. And then he just keeps going on. He's freaked out. They're very large. Like, please send police officers over here right away. The 911 call cuts off. So you believe this guy, right? Angel, you believe him?
No.
I mean, he did call into 911. Nobody would lie to a 911 dispatcher.
Crazy people can call 911.
They wouldn't. This is a real guy.
Ghosts can call 911.
This is truly something that you would think is made up. However, there was body cam footage from a police officer around the same time that the 911 call came in, showing something.
Did you say body cam footage?
That has been reported on all the trusted news sites. And the video cam footage shows a blue light falling down from the sky.
Wow.
Right around the same time.
Do you have this footage?
Yes, I do.
Steven?
Yes, I do.
Show me
I
the
didn't want
footage.
to go straight to it because they can't. Do you want to hear the 911 call or do you want to hear the footage?
Yeah, it's probably some broad talking.
It's a man, Angel.
Okay, so on the body cam footage is grainy, but you see the blue light coming down from the sky. The police officers show up at his house and it suspiciously gets cut off. It's been reported that multiple agencies have showed up to this guy's house and he's gone radio silent since the event. So thoughts, Ryan? I know you mentioned earlier that maybe there's some fires going on, some suspicious fires in Canada where like 30 fires all started at the same time.
At the very same time.
And blacking
I've
out,
seen the satellite
blacking out a
footage.
lot of sky in some suspicious. There's been a lot of spy balloons in the air, like unidentified objects. The Pentagon's coming out with footage of things over the water that they can't explain.
The Tic Tacs.
Physics defying aircraft that they can't explain. There's been whistleblowers from the government agencies coming out talking about how this has been going on for a while and been a hush hush. All of it's getting discredited, right? You know, everybody comes out, oh, well, you know, this guy is, you know, a loony bin. But these are government workers, guys that worked in the CIA that were in high level of military, high clearance that are coming out whistleblowing. So what do you think, Ryan? Are we in the midst of Project Bluebeam?
Yeah, there was a military whistleblower this week that was saying all kinds of shit, saying we've captured spacecrafts of alien nature,
non-human,
we have tons of them. Non-human nature, tons of them, he says, and these are being reported all over the news this week. And now people are theorizing that these fires were started on purpose this week to cover the skies of a potential mothership that's visiting over the East Coast,
or to
a lot of strange shit going on
to cover it up, or to purposefully plant this mothership as a part of the bigger plan, which is Project Bluebeam, which was create an alien invasion.
It could be
to unite the world as one.
This could be it.
Is this the moment for The Independence Day speech.
Yeah.
Oh God, Biden's gonna give
Full
us
circle.
the Independence Day speech.
Anyway,
So, first reaction. So, say that this guy's story is true. Aircraft really did land in his backyard. There was 8 foot tall aliens, and they left without really causing any harm. Um, what are your first reactions, if this was true, to what this species might be here for? Would you be nervous of it, or would you be like uh, thinking optimistically about this encounter where they might be just explorers wanting to explore another life form on another planet?
if if we ever get to the point where the government says like, "Hey, aliens are fucking here," I'm going to be scared shitless in that initial moment. 100%.
Definitely like way too much uncertainty, right? Like they had the technology to get here, they're far superior to us, right? Would you think that? They're
Yeah.
obviously far superior to us. They have technology that could totally destroy us. But if they came and they didn't just like instantly obliterate us, like are they peaceful creatures? Like, would we react?
I think I'm gonna be scared shitless upon initial admission that there's aliens there. Then very curious about what they fucking look like. Like what the fuck are these things? And then I guess just living my day to day life from that point, wondering what's gonna happen next. I guess.
I feel like as long as they're not like killing all of us, I think it would be like some sort of peace that we are not alone in this universe. And I think hopefully they would be willing to share some technology with us to help us kind of take the next leap into uh, the future. I think being able to travel
Yeah.
inner galaxy or whatever they would call it.
Interdimensionally.
Well, maybe that's the trick.
I
I don't
don't.
know, but like I feel like a lot of cool shit and a lot of awesome stuff could come from it. Cures for diseases, like faster space travel, like time travel, whatever is needed to get across space in that amount of time. Or maybe they just live so long that they don't mind traveling 5,000 years to another planet. Who knows?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that peace would ever happen in our lifetime.
No, it wouldn't.
Because number one, it's gonna cause religion to like go crazy because people are gonna lose
Well,
their
it would
minds.
definitely
Number
like
two,
debunk like most religions that center around
yeah,
God creating the universe.
which I don't
And
think it really debunks that because you can argue that God created their worlds too, and,
well, it
and
was like
things
our
like
God.
that.
Their God's different, they're like our, but like,
And it could be the same.
Our God
it could be
could be the same.
It could
Yeah.
be the same God.
Our God creates life.
But number two, we're at a point in our society where nobody believes
oh,
anything.
yeah, the misinformation is
You can look
rampant.
at it and it can be like, oh, the left are just saying it because of this, and the right are saying it because of that. Fuck that shit. So you're gonna have people fighting about whether or not it's true, or if it's Project Bluebeam and the government's trying to trick us. They could put an alien on stage and people are
Aliens come down and like, well, they're fucking racist. What does this mean for trans people? Like it's like, well, aliens are here. I think we have bigger issues on our hand right now. Like,
right.
I heard another thing on TikTok recently where like, nobody is talking about the bigger issues facing humanity and our planet or anything. They're just only caught up in these like societal topics like trans rights and like racism and stuff like that. Like you could talk about that all you want, but as soon as you start talking about like the big shit, you're like silenced. I think there has been an
Yeah.
uptick, and maybe it's just my TikTok algorithm, like finding out that I like interested in aliens and just showing me more of this conspiracy shit. But it just seems like there's been a big uptick in encounters and information coming out.
No, there 100% is definitely more, especially from the mainstream media actually talks about it more. I think that might be the reason why there's quote unquote more sightings
Yeah.
because the media actually acknowledges it. And you might be able to credit that to good old Tom DeLonge, because he
Yeah.
started talking about like
I'm sorry.
Joe Rogan.
American hero.
the
But you know what?
TikTok.
This is the thing. I think everybody's out for money. These businesses are out for money too. What captures people's attention more than saying an asteroid's coming to Earth or aliens are here? Like that is going to get everybody to tune into these news channels. And they have already proven in the past, they will hype up anything to get more viewers. Like everything's a disaster. Oh, this hurricane's going to wipe out all of the East Coast. It's going to be horrible. And they're out there in the hurricane pretending like they're getting blown away. And there's a dude like walking his dog, like in the background. It's
Yeah.
just, I
Well-
know that I don't trust the news. It's hard to trust their reporting on it. But like to see all this like shaky, grainy footage popping up all over the place, I'm like, how many people are out there like creating fake content? who's doing all that?
Yeah. Well, the thing, the body cam footage, that's 100% legit. Like that's
And
police
yeah, and the
body
police
cam
officer is
footage.
like, I would never respond to this kind of call, but my partner, who is a totally normal person, was like, bro, something came down out of the sky. I thought it was a shooting star, but it was blue and it was big and it like happened at the same time. So I think we should actually go to that guy's house and check it out.
Yeah. I remember one time I was driving with my friend Bon down the freeway, and we saw something like it that's in that body cam footage where it came down, it was blue, and the whole sky just lit up blue. This is some random night we were cruising around.
Wow.
Never knew what it was. I assumed it was just a meteor that fucking entered the atmosphere, but it looked
Well,
just like
certain
that
metals will
video.
burn blue. I mean, if an asteroid or any comet or any shooting star came into our atmosphere, whatever it's made up of, it's what it's going to burn. So, like some shit burns white. I'm sure Angel knows more about this than I do. Like
Magnesium.
magnesium's white, like
Magnesium.
cobalt. What is blue? What would burn blue?
Copper.
Copper. Yeah, there's different minerals that
Yep.
will burn different colors.
Alien materials.
Orange is calcium, yellow sodium, green is barium.
Yeah, but this story is definitely interesting because immediately following that light in the sky, they get a call from somebody claiming something landed in their backyard. And there's follow-up video that I saw on the TikTok today where like the neighbor's Ring camera captures the sound of that thing like crashing, and it's loud as shit.
Yeah.
Like something happened, like something crashed back there. And whether or not something landed and creatures came out that were 8 feet tall, I don't know, but something definitely like happened over there.
Yeah. And then I also think like a little bit like devil's advocate here. And I'm like, okay, if I was running Project Bluebeam and I was like, how do I go viral and how do I get everybody to start believing? I'm going to stage something really random, right? Like just very random. Like, how can people deny it? I'm going to just have like something happen in someone's backyard and it's going to be like really mysterious and it's going to go away and people are going to talk about it. It's going to get on the news and people will believe that. Is that how would you try to convince the masses that aliens are here?
You sprinkle it through social
Yeah.
media and let fucking the society take care of
How
it.
are you going to put a mothership in the sky? We don't have the technology to put a hologram in the sky or even a big
What?
spacecraft up there.
We don't need to put a hologram, dude. We have AI to do that. We can have AI.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a video of a mothership going off in sky. Put it on freaking every single news source.
If you don't look
There you
up and
go.
you don't see it, then that is
Or-
When are you going to see it? You got to look up. You got to have the chance to look up. We're mostly
You
inside.
never stargaze, Angel? Have you ever looked up in the
No.
sky while like
No.
camping and like seen like fucking a light in the sky that's like moving and then it zips to the right and zips to the left? Have you never seen
Look,
something
if
like
a
that?
small spaceship comes into our atmosphere and even comes to Earth, they're not there to harvest us or harvest minerals or anything like that. They're not going to have a way to take it back to where. They're not going to haul off like all of our shit. You know, it's too heavy. They're here for exploratory reasons of just curiosity. I'm not that mad about that. I would too. Like, what would we do if we could travel to other stars and other galaxies? We'd instantly go to a planet that has life and instantly try to check out what the life forms are like and instantly try to figure out if they're intelligent or not.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we would do. And can we live here? Can we repopulate this planet? Can we move our people to this planet? Is it a viable place for us? That's the first thing we would do.
Does it have oxygen?
I believe that there's aliens out there that have visited us, but I don't believe that they're menacing. Because if they were menacing and they have the technology to come visit us, they probably have the technology to destroy us.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to, they probably could have and would have.
You
already
think
done
like,
it.
well, you think that most creatures want to live. This is the thing. That's the only reason we've ever made it to this point in time is we have the desire to reproduce and we have the desire to live. If we didn't, we don't meet the criteria for living, and we've made it this far. So any other creatures out there are going to fit the same sort of requirements to have a successful species. So why would they be so menacing that they would want to come to other planets for the pure intent to destroy it?
Psychopaths.
Oh, so but like psychopaths wouldn't really make it too much in their own society. So
I mean, that's specific to the human race, right? You're assuming that aliens cannot be psychopaths in
I'm
their
just
own
saying it
right.
wouldn't make sense for any species to be psychopaths or violent, inherently violent,
Why not?
because it wouldn't like benefit
not?
their society. It wouldn't benefit their species, and it wouldn't let them get to the point where they have the technology to travel the universe because they would be so hostile.
You're assuming their values. You're assuming their goal. If their goal is to take over the entire universe, of course they're going to want to destroy everything that's living in order to conquer it. I can't believe I'm having this conversation, but yes.
But there's a logical problem in your argument too, because
Let's
they
hear it.
would look at the human race and be like, dude, they're not even a threat. They would look at us as much as like they would look at a dog, that we're not even.
You're assuming that all the technology that they have is much stronger than ours. How do you know that all that they have is not stronger than a nuclear bomb?
This is, I see the point you're getting to, and my rebuttal to it is, I would agree. Maybe they have some sort of way of checking in on us from time to time. And I don't remember where I heard this theory, but like maybe we're reaching a point in our technology with AI and some of the weapons that we have that we're going to make a huge advancement soon, and they know it. They're like, hey, we've watched a lot of societies, and they get to this point and boom, it takes off and they discover everything they need to travel. And we need to keep a watch on them, and or we need to take them out before they reach it, because they have violent tendencies as human beings. They're like they have too much turmoil, and they would be a threat to the universe. They wouldn't fit into the mold of like a intergalactic trust or something. So
Yeah.
maybe there are like more encounters now because we're getting really close, and people are like, I don't know, we need to watch these guys.
There's a lot of stories of like alien sightings over by like nuclear missile silos and nuclear reactors, and reports of them like deactivating shit.
Yeah.
Because they know like we could destroy our planet with this
Yeah,
shit.
they're like, hey, these guys are stupid.
There's been a lot of reports of shit going on in Vegas. Did you see the video of the Sapphire Strip Club
No,
UFO?
I have a theory though. I have a theory of why they like Vegas, because it's very like flat and open and dry, and I feel like there's a lot of energy there, and the power sources to power all that shit. Maybe they need all these things to get in and out of I don't know. I just feel like, or I don't know why it would be like, why is it always the desert? Why is it always Roswell, or why is it always Vegas that gets the weird shit?
Because the sky is so clear.
It's clear.
It's easier to
There's
land.
such little. Well,
All
let me
those
show
solar
you this
farms we
video
built out
from
there.
the Sapphire, the Sapphire Club. So if you look at this video, you see this fine lady.
Ooh, titties.
But right above that fine lady, there's this weird little triangle thing up in the sky.
Okay.
Deep, menacing red devil eye.
Yeah.
Lights on each corner.
It's Ganon.
And you notice the little spotlight at a strip club almost lights it up.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Looks like Goma.
My issue with a lot of these videos is like, people are always saying the same thing. When the fuck are we ever going to get a clear video? Every video we always get some hazy ass, fucking grainy. There's clouds in the sky. We can't see it all the way. It's too easy, especially with AI, to create a video like that. You know, like it could easily be government propaganda that's just being mass produced and put out to the masses to try to get everybody thinking about aliens.
Yeah.
Project Bluebeam. So what would you trust? Would you trust an alien invasion? Would you actually believe it?
I mean, I feel like we've also reached the point where society is so divided that this could be like the one thing that could unite everybody, is this extraterrestrial threat. Finally,
I would hope it
forget
unites us in a
our
good way. I hope
differences.
it unites us in a good way where it kind of debunks religion enough to like be like, okay, we're not going to be arguing over which religion is right anymore. We're just going to say either we come from a god or we don't. And there's definitely other things in the universe, and we're all human and we're all one species. And it's a good unification, not like the diabolical unification that I think like huge corporations want, and these global elitists, what they want, where they want us to be all united so they can suck us dry of every penny we have and use us for their gain. Right, Ryan?
We'll see what happens in New York when the clouds clear up a little bit. And they can
What are they
project their
hiding?
images in the sky.
Or is it all wishful thinking that we think something exciting will happen in our lifetime?
So this video in Las Vegas. So I'm looking at the video. I'm not listening to it. When I'm looking at it, it's just police officer walking up and talking to neighbors.
Okay, that's the body cam
So what
footage
am I
of
getting?
once he gets to the house. But there is, and I need to
Yeah.
find it, but there's a body cam of his partner while he's still in his like his cruiser, and he's looking up at a blue meteorite. Right, help me find it.
I think I have it open. I have it. Do I have it open? Oh, I have it right here, Steven. I'll put it in. It's from the New York
Yeah,
Post.
New York
Well,
Post is
let's
where I
see
saw
it.
it.
Solid
And it's
source.
solid sources for this type of story, because usually you only see this on like weird.
Oh man. Aviator Sunglasses Angel is back.
Anyways, that's kind of the end of my segment, and I'm a little upset that Ryan guessed it in the intro. And,
He knows.
So predictable.
He knows your time
so I
slot.
guess there's only one.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have
So I guess
thought?
there's only one thing left to do. And so, Chris, what do you think? Are you fully convinced, or what say you?
You know, weird stuff happens in Vegas all the time, and but the weirdest thing, or the thing that jumped out to me, is the neighbor that was being interviewed. He had a black shirt with a red number 3 on it. Does that jump out to anybody?
No.
Red number 3. It was specifically the iconic Dale Earnhardt NASCAR driver, legendary champion. It was his shirt.
You.
That means that this man is a man of history. He's probably from Southern origins. He probably loves a good Coors Light on a Sunday, and his dream is to go to the almighty Daytona 500 one of these days. But the reason I point that out to you is the mass crazy stuff that happens most commonly: cornfields, wheat fields in the South. Verifiable people right there. What they saw, they'll tell you exactly what it was.
So it sounds like Chris is a believer. So, Ryeezy, what say you?
I mean, I believe. I don't necessarily believe that there was a spacecraft in the backyard and 8-foot creatures came out. Not really bought in on that, but I do believe like something weird happened that night.
It was too on the nose, right? Too on the nose with the like stereotypical alien imagery that we've been given our whole lives. It's too on the nose. Like, oh, 8 foot tall, big eyes, looking at it. It's like, okay, man. That's just like Area 51 shit.
I don't know. I think if aliens do come out, they are going to be those like weird shaped heads with the giant eyeball gray things. I think that's what they are going to be.
I think they're going to be blobs of goo that can connect to like a computer. They're just like literally goop. Like they found a way to like turn themselves into a everlasting being.
Or reptilians.
Reptilians, yeah.
Make the frogs gay.
Angel, what say you? Are you a believer now? Did I convince you
What?
with my?
No, absolutely not. No. Try again.
It's not a comedy. All right, spin the wheel.
Wait, hold on. I almost have my data together.
I need to get a drink of water.
Images.
Data?
Yeah.
Are you gathering information for the aliens, Chris?
Pretty close.
Okay, very good.
Here we go. I got it. All right. So, let me grab this right here.
I wonder who's next. I'm nervous.
Boom. All right. So you guys see
Haven't
this
done
right
this
here?
yet.
Very
No.
specific
Yes.
looking 3 on this man's t-shirt with a little bit of segment underneath it.
It's very blurry, but I think I
Boom.
see a 3. Yes.
Boom.
We can expect that.
See that? See that right there? Iconic number 3 with little squiggly lines below it.
Yeah.
That is the indistinguishable legendary Dale Earnhardt from NASCAR.
Wait a minute. Dale Earnhardt. Yeah.
But there's also a man in a bathrobe, Chris. What does it mean?
That's true. No, that's a lab coat.
He's wearing jeans under the robe.
People
I'm
wear
not quite
Jeans
sure
under
what's
lab coat.
going on
Lab
there.
coats are typically blue or white, depending on what industry you're in.
But see, those people aren't talking. I'm focusing on the person giving the details is right here. Man, look at that. Probably says Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah,
Jr.
that's
right
Dale's
there.
number.
Yep.
That 3 is indistinguishable.
He's a good old boy.
Indistinguishable.
Yeehaw.
It's a very specific 3.
So now we have to connect Dale and the aliens.
Dale was taken from us early on a famous NASCAR crash.
Now I feel bad.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Is there a banana in your pants, Steven?
It's all natural. Are you balding? You see it?
I saw
like
it
two
too.
spots. Yeah,
I
there's two
saw it
spots.
too. I saw it too. I was literally gonna say the same thing.
That's because I've got too much testosterone.
Ooh, are you taking tea?
No, I wish.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more man.
I like how you got my nickname Miami.
You like that?
do.
All
I
right,
wonder who's
Miami. Big winner. Boom.
Angel Miami.
All right, Miami. Take it away.
Oh, I'm nervous. Were you guys this nervous the first time you did it? I haven't spoken longer than like 4 minutes. And when I speak, I usually cut half of it out because it's
Just get
stupid.
used to
I
it.
mean, you gave us that fabulous fudge packing story.
Oh, man, that was a long time. That was 3 minutes 59 seconds. All right.
See, the trick is just envision your audience in their underwear. Works every time.
That makes me more nervous
Not
because then I have to lay all of them. I don't know if I have the energy because there's like obviously 10,000 people there. I got to take naps. I'm stressed out now.
So what you need to know is that all 40 listeners, whenever they're listening to us, their pants are off.
Probably taking a poop or on a long drive.
All good. I don't get nervous. All right. That was just to make you guys feel better about your first time.
You just remember that nothing in life matters, and that we're all gonna die. And you should just put the fuck out.
All right. So I'm going to talk about. So in today's topic, I'm going to be taking over for Chris. He typically covers Decisions Were Made, which is a fabulous topic. Everyone loves it. I get text messages every single day. Oh my God, I cannot get enough of this Decisions Were Made. Favorite part.
I heard it's single-handedly ruining the podcast.
what kind of text message are you getting? Steven, stop texting yourself.
Hey, Steven. Yeah, Steven? Okay.
Sign up for history lessons.
So something about me. I like money. Okay. And there's been a lot of talk about financial institutions and whether recently, in recent history or whatever, I guess aliens are distracting people. And there's been talk whether the Federal Reserve should be in the business of bailing out banks or if they should fall on their own. Okay. Now, everyone has their own opinion. Typically, people follow party lines. They believe in society's social structures, or they just read Twitter. Well, it did remind me of one of my favorite financial crises of the 20th century.
You have a favorite financial crisis?
And that sounds weird, right? Yeah, I'm about to talk about that. Financial crisis. Angel loves a financial crisis. Weird, right?
But see, you guys are missing the point. Angel loves when money trades hands.
Yes. It's my favorite.
Chris Angel.
So, like, people are thinking probably, what is he, a monster? Angel's a monster, a source of masculine energy that women gravitate to in mass, you know? Even though, you know, that's true. It's not the point. I love this story because it's about betting everything on what you believe to be true in your heart. And I'm talking to you, Steven.
Yeah, what do I believe in my heart?
What are you drinking?
This is an herbal tea.
Okay. What kind of herbal tea? Now I'm curious.
This one was deemed the stress and immune tea. It has lemon, some sort of berry, and ashwagandha.
Well, that's your problem right there. That's your problem.
I know. It makes my pubes grow extra fast.
Oh, ashwagandha. Okay. That's like Wakanda, kind of.
Forever.
All right. So I love this story.
Do you? Sure about that?
Because it's about betting everything that's it's true in your heart. Because it's true in everything in your heart. Despite everyone around you, and this is the key, everyone around you saying you might be wrong and you might be making a bad decision. Have you ever had that? Anyone tell you, you're like so sure in your decision, I'm going to do this. And people around you are like, dude, that's a really bad idea. Hey, man, you didn't think this through. Are you sure about that? You want to sleep on it? And you're like, no, dude, you don't understand. You don't know what I know. I know that this is right. You guys ever have that?
Yeah, when the housing crisis of 2007 was about to happen, and I was really thinking the market was going to fall, so I wanted to short it.
Wait, so you did short it or not?
No, I'm guessing that's what your story is.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Absolutely not, but close. Actually, not even close. It's like 100 years before. So, and this one is you actually turn out that you're wrong. You know, everyone was right and you were wrong. And that's exactly what happened to one Otto Heinz. He's a man whose misjudgment led to the Panic of 1907. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, baby. The Panic of 1907.
Panic at the disco.
So, yeah. Otto and his brothers, Arthur and Augustus, were the majority stakeholders in the United Copper Company, a holding company with Augustus's mining interests. They started a brokerage house and called it Otto C. Heinz and Company. So using this firm, the brothers went into speculative stock pool with a Charles Morse. But more on that guy later, okay? One day, Otto was auditing the United Copper Company shares. He found the market had 25,000 more shares than were supposed to be. He concluded the brokers must secretly loan their shares to traders to sell short. And how dare they? Otto believed he and his brothers held the majority interest in United Copper. He would execute a bear squeeze, which only works if you know you're the majority shareholder. He figured, okay, check this out. He figured if his brothers decided to call in the shares, it would force short sellers to fulfill their obligations by purchasing stock in low supply, driving prices up, and short sellers would pay a considerable premium to cover their position. But first, he needed more shares to reduce supply. So he and his brother would purchase large blocks to corner, quote, United Copper. This purchase would drive prices up naturally, and those secret short sellers would feel the pain. It was the perfect plan. Otto spoke to Augustus. His brother Arthur was traveling Europe for some fucking reason, and told him it would cost at least 1.5 million to pull this off. But Augustus denied Otto's request because he had no money and could not put his position into peril. See, freaking Augustus was the president of the Mercantile National Bank at the time. So Augustus shared that his bank was experiencing a silent run on the bank. Are you guys familiar with what a run on a bank is?
No.
It's where the banks only have, like, the banks don't hold 100% of the money that you deposit in there. They hold something more like, I don't know, 15% or something like that. So if everyone tried to withdraw their money at the same time, there's not enough money in the building to pay everybody, and the bank panics.
Exactly. Depositors will put their money into the bank, and the bank will lend it out because they can do that. And then all of a sudden, depositors will come in demanding their cash in full. And if this happens for too many depositors and more money than the bank holds, it creates a problem because they don't have the cash on hand. It's been lent out. So that's a run on a bank. It's where depositors start pulling money more than what the bank has on hand. So going back, he decided to call a meeting with Charles Morse and Charles Barney, two Charleses. So Barney was the president of Knickerbocker Trust Company, which was the
Knickerbocker.
Barney, yeah.
Oh, Barney. Okay.
He was the president of the Knickerbocker Trust Company, which was the third largest in New York. That's pretty big. They met at Barney's home. He lived
next to the Jiggerbockers, the Jiggerfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. He lived on Fifth Avenue, so freaking premium spot. And again, he laid out the perfect plan. What he was going to do, the bear squeeze. Okay. So
Is that like a bear hug?
Yes.
kind of, yeah, except it's not so nice. Actually, a bear hug sounds fucking terrifying. Unless you're the bear.
You know, there was some pretty awesome bear squeezes that happened recently that made me and Ryan some money.
Hey.
Heyo.
Good work, man.
AMC and GameStop, baby. Those are bear squeezes.
That's a lot of... Yeah, exactly. So you know what a squeeze is. You know what a short
Yeah.
squeeze is.
Like Vanguard was like, or some big old, whatever. Keep going.
Okay, good. So, going back to it, they met at Barney's home on Fifth Avenue. And again, Otto laid out his perfect plan. What happened was Morse stopped the discussion, told him he was completely wrong, and all three men told Otto to go to hell. You'll believe that? They told him to go fuck himself on Fifth Avenue, by his own blood, and his own business partners. That was unacceptable. With no support, he was convinced his plan was perfect. Otto decided to corner and squeeze on his own. So he called a meeting with Philip Keyberg. So Philip Keyberg was a partner in the stock exchange firm Gross and Keyberg. From the name, right? Gave two instructions. He told him, first, you order or purchase 6,000 shares of United Copper. Second, so he ordered a purchase of 6,000 shares of United Copper. And what he was trying to do is hoping to force short sellers to settle. And then second, he would issue calls for all Heinz-owned United Copper certificates that had been loaned out to punish brokers who, again, he believed were providing them to short sellers. So he was ready to bring the pain to those motherfuckers. All right, let me paint you a picture. Monday morning, it was quiet on Wall Street. There were probably people talking about what they did over the weekend. Again, Monday. Others talking about Halloween plans later in the month because it was October. Or maybe even a displeased orange cat. I don't know. I wasn't there, dude. But you know who was?
Knickerbocker.
The Chicago Tribune. And Knickerbocker was there. Yeah, they were in the Exchange House. The Chicago Tribune described a big shot from a super well-known brokerage firm bust into his stunner shades on, dubs fucking fluttering out of his coat with each step. Just a big fat nerd with big dick energy slamming an order for 5,000 of 6,000 shares Otto told him to buy the night before. So he went on to buy the rest, and everyone joined in. Everyone thought the stock was going up. So it started at 39, hit a high of 62, and closed at 52. It's a huge gain. So that day, thousands of stock certificates arrived at Otto Heinz and Company to pay $630,000 by close, which is $215. Again, Otto asked his brother for a loan because, again, he was the president of one of the banks. He calculated since United Copper was trading around 60, he would only need about a third of the value of the securities, which would serve as collateral to repay the brokers that day. So this time, Augustus agreed and arranged for a loan from Mercantile National Bank to cover the checks written against Otto Heinz and Company's account. Now, Otto felt on top of the world. He primed the market. He got shorts scurrying to cover, and he had cash available. Now it's time to bring the squeeze, baby. So on October 15th, Tuesday, the next day, Otto Heinz put his squeeze into effect. He would call 20 stock exchange houses to deliver their stock ASAP by 2 p.m. Now, because Otto was a significant majority holder of United Copper, and he expected brokers would not chance of delivering on time. They had no chance, dude. He's like, you know what? I'm the majority stakeholder. I expect them, because I've been buying up shares over the last few weeks, there's like none left. They're going to need to cover their position. They're going to be screwed. So, according to the rules, if Heinz could buy the stock, any stock not delivered in time would force the stock exchange house to pay the difference between purchases and market prices. So it was time for those brokers to pay for undermining Otto for no reason. So Otto issued the order. You know what happened, Stephen?
No idea.
No idea? Not even a guess?
Everybody shut up.
He ordered all 20 stock exchange houses to return the certificates by end of day 2:15 p.m.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Shocker. All 20 houses actually delivered on their promise.
Ooh, that is a shocker in that short amount of time.
Yeah. There was plenty of stock in the market. Otto was dead fucking wrong. There were thousands and thousands of shares arriving as fast as the mail could fucking carry because of the news of Monday's price spike.
Everybody wanted to sell.
So there were many certificates coming. The Heinz's at some point, the Heinz's actually refused delivery after it actually got out of control. Traders were turned away. They flooded the market, and that drove the price down from 59 opening that day.
So he thought everybody was shorting the stock, and nobody was actually shorting the stock.
Exactly. Oh, actually, no. Go back. You'll see. Wait till the end. Wait till the end, buddy.
Thought that was the end.
So it opened at 59, closed at 36. Word around the fucking curb was that the old timers even said they'd never seen anything like it. It's dropped like a motherfucker. But why was Otto wrong? He was sure of his strategy. What do you think he missed, Christopher?
You know, I'm also kind of shocked that he was wrong in the situation. I mean, I'm always, so I think people who short stocks are like the scum of the earth. So, because what they do is you have like even let's take hedge funds. Like I was a big proponent of the whole like GameStop situation, but you have these hedge fund companies that just have a lot of money, and they go around and they look for businesses that are dying, and they start heavily shorting those businesses, saying, "Hey, this business ain't gonna hold on. I'm betting they're not gonna make it." And so if you get enough money to bet on that, everyone looks at it and say, hey, my stock value is dropping. So they start selling, which takes more equity out of the company, and hedge funds themselves can put companies out of business. And that's what they were doing with GameStop.
Yeah.
And I was really pissed off at the GameStop situation because they shorted over 100%. That means they shorted more than the stocks that were available. So, and then when you get a situation of someone realizing that, and they're like, hey, I'm going to start calling them on it, and then they have to scramble because they're losing money left and right, I'm all about that. So as you were leading up to this whole thing, I was like, he saw it. He knew people were shorting. He got the money. He saw the opportunity, put the plan out, and he went for it. So when he said he's wrong, I just don't get what's happening.
The only thing that could happen is that there was not as many people shorting as he thought. So
Yeah.
all these people were holding on to this, let's just say a $10 stock. It jumped up to $60. They're like, oh shit, We just made a ton of money. Let's sell it off. You know, I don't know. Tell us.
Yeah. So you know what, Chris, to comment on that, shorting stock. Yeah, it's kind of scummy, but I mean, it's following the rules. Why not?
You can do the opposite.
And having people recognize that that they're actually shorting the stock and going against it, driving the price higher. I mean, why not? I mean, both sides are going to be upset either way, as long as we're following the rules.
It's almost like that guy when you're playing on a craps table and you got like a hot hand going, and then some guy walks up and puts it on the don't pass line.
I don't know what that means.
Give dirty looks at that guy.
I do it all the time. I always bet the don't pass because all you miserable fucks look like losers, and I'm not betting with you.
What a jerk.
I only bet with Michelle.
Christopher, good choice. Good, thank you for the comment. But remember when Otto believed 25,000 shares were trading secretly, leading him to concoct a bear squeeze to punish those scheming, greedy brokers?
Yes.
Well, as it turns out, the months leading up to the event, Augustus has been supporting, that's his brother, Otto's brother's Augustus, has been supporting the stock price by buying United Copper from brokers on margin. Those not familiar, this meant that security purchases was collateral for the loan, and the certificates remain in the broker's possession. So it was indeed possible for the brokers to lend out shares to short sellers. There was no secret plot. They were following the rules. Otto was just probably dropping subtle comments to brokers, letting them know that he knew what they were up to, and they looked at him like he was weird. Like, you're on margin.
Yeah.
Like you don't have the certificate in your hand.
All right. My first problem with this story is it's like reading a legal document. Half the shit that you said, I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. Like the terms you're using. And I have dabbled in the stock market a little bit. I understand certain things like a squeeze, and I understand what a short sale is and blah, 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 whatever. But half the shit you said, I still don't understand. So I couldn't follow along half of it.
Oh. Okay. I mean, thank you for telling me towards the end. I mean, I could go back, I guess. But
do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
No.
I'll summarize it at the end. Don't worry about it. I just know he was fucking wrong because he didn't pay attention.
Tomato, it's like reading Shakespeare.
Basically, he thought that people were fucking undermining his ass when in actuality they really weren't. They were just doing business as usual. And he got a story up in his head.
So how much did he lose?
Ooh, you're going to find out.
Give us that sexy money, Angel.
Oh, no, you're not going to hear figures. You're going to hear fucking legislation. So Otto was not able. Otto wasn't able to meet his obligation. His brokerage, Gross and Kleberg, went into bankruptcy. The New York Stock Exchange suspended Otto's trading privileges.
Oh, baby.
So the State Savings Bank of Butte, Montana, which is like fucking random, but apparently they held United Copper as collateral against its lending. It had been a correspondence bank of the Mercantile National Bank. Again, Augustus was the president. Because of the United Copper and the involvement in States Bank, the board of Mercantile forced Augustus to resign before fucking lunch. By then, it was already too late.
Oh, snap.
Mercantile was experiencing a bank run, which started a domino effect for banks doing business with their associates, even Mr. Charles Morse and his bank. The chaos shook any confidence in the New York banks. Enter John Pierpont Morgan Sr., a.k.a.
J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan, baby, president of J.P. Morgan and Company, who was in Richmond in Virginia at the time. He wasn't the wealthiest or most well-connected banker, but he had similar experience helping rescue the U.S. Treasury during the Panic of 1893. Over the next few days, Morgan's Townhouse Library was the headquarters where New York Bank and Trust presidents arrived to share information about the impending crisis and the status of their firms. The problem was the depositors were so scared they would lose their money, any terrible news would cause bank runs, even on healthy trusts. So Morgan, coupling with George Baker. What the fuck was that? Was that a fart? How dare you? How fucking dare you?
It was so far away from your microphone.
Yeah, that was loud.
Dude, are you like a fart ventriloquist?
What happened?
Anyway.
Well, Angel, I think you're doing a bang-up job covering Chris's spot today.
I know.
It's
I know. Thank you.
thoroughly.
Yes. Yeah, I get it. Subtleties. This is why Angel is the best.
Yes.
So the problem was that depositors were so scared they'd lose their money. If you go to the goddamn bank and you realize they're going to fucking lose your money, you're not going to go to them. You're going to take your money out and go to somebody else, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Only the most sophisticated understand this. And the less sophisticated watch the most sophisticated and they go in later. But the most sophisticated realize this. So the problem is when you do it to healthy trusts or motherfuckers who actually know what the fuck they're doing, that's a problem. Okay. You don't need to run a bank on some healthy firm. So what happened was JP Morgan, George Baker, who at the time was president of the First National Bank, and James Stillman, a National City Bank of New York, ancestor to, wait for it, Citibank,
Oh.
and the United States Secretary of Treasury, George B. Cortelyou, yeah, they helped stem the issues. Basically, Cortelyou deposited $25 million in a few of New York's banks. They worked together, and even John D. Rockefeller, the wealthiest man in the United States, deposited an additional $10 million on top of that in Stillman's National City Bank. He even called it the Associated Press manager, told him he would pledge half his wealth to maintain the U.S. credit, which like is obviously like how he makes money, right? Because of the interest rate. But I mean, that instills confidence. So with all this freaking nutty fucking shit that came out of this, what came out? Otto's terrible math, bank runs for days, and JP Morgan and friends saving the day. What came out was the Federal Reserve Act. It was passed by the 63rd United States Congress and signed into law by President Woodrow Wilson in 1913. The law created the Federal Reserve System and the central bank system in the United States. The Federal Reserve System consists of 12 regional Federal Reserve banks jointly responsible for managing the country's money supply, making loans, and providing oversight to banks, and most importantly, like JP Morgan, the predecessor to freaking Citibank, did back in the day, 1907, 1908, serve as lender of last resort. As a consequence, brought stability to the financial system in the United
Sure
States.
did until the 1920s, like 10 years later when the fucking shit crashed.
Ooh, that's next time. 1930s.
So basically, like J.P. Morgan and the Citibank guy, they rolled in and they said, "Hey, United States, you're having a cash flow problem. Want me to help you out? And in return, you can make me rich for the next 200 years."
Yes.
And they said, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yes, they did.
Man, so Otto.
It was over a weekend.
Otto caused
millions of dollars of their own money.
It was like Otto cleared his own headship and allowed room for these other guys to step into the vacuum and become the financial leaders of the country.
Yeah. Most importantly, Otto thought he was right. Turns out he did his math wrong.
Hate when that happens.
When you are shorting a position,
Yep.
and say you take a lot of shorts on something, but it skyrockets and you're like in the tank, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just let that expire and you lose your money of the initial investment. Is that what you do?
Well, I mean, what else can you do?
Well, you're not forced to take that loss, right?
They're not going to come after you and squeeze more money out of you.
Well, I'm just saying you don't actually have to owe that money, right? Because I've seen some crazy shit on Reddit where they're like, dudes pull out a bunch of shorts on something and then it goes up and they're like, dude, I'm in the tank, 20 million. Like, but it's just like it's like a short position.
So a short position, it sounds like you're familiar with it because it sounds like you've done it with Ryan at some point.
I've never done a short. All I did was buy stock in something that was getting squeezed. And so when it went up because of the squeeze.
Sell that shit.
Why did you buy something during a squeeze? So, what were you expecting the stock to do?
It was accident, actually. Me and Ryan were discussing which stocks would benefit from the vaccine news. And we bought into AMC because we figured movie theaters would be on the uptick and cruise ships.
Back to the movies.
And so we bought Carnival cruise ship. We bought AMC and we bought some airplane stock, and the AMC stock.
Is this part of your investment firm?
And then the AMC stock like shot up like super high one day, and me and Ryan were like, what the fuck is going on? So I started reading about all this shit. I knew GameStop was already happening, but I didn't buy in at the ground floor of the squeeze of GameStop, and I didn't benefit when it shot up. So I didn't want to get in on it after it was already over $100. And the AMC kind of became like the sister stock to that movement. It was like the next one.
Yeah.
And so we got accidentally caught up in a squeeze because what they were doing was they saw the hedge funds shorting games or AMC. So they like had a bunch of people on the internet start buying stock, right? That's what a squeeze is. So the people with a bunch of short positions are like, oh shit, we're losing all of our money. So let's sell it all off. And if they do that, then it's going to shoot the stock to the moon. I don't know. Never happened fully.
We woke up and it was like 100%, and I was like, "Sell that shit." It's
I was like,
dead.
But again, you bought the stock, not the
no, we
short,
bought
right?
stock. So I basically bought an AMC stock for like $5 a stock.
Okay.
I woke up one morning, it was like in the 50s. And I'm like, I just made like $6,000 while I was sleeping.
Fabulous. That's very good.
And it was in a Roth account, so I didn't have to pay taxes on it. Suck.
Hey,
Oh, baby.
Someone did their homework.
Now the tax man's after you,
Can't
Steve.
come after me until I retire.
Not a sponsor.
So the funny thing is, I am still holding GameStop and AMC.
You fail.
What?
And yeah. I
Are you
was. I
waiting for the
saw.
bounce
I saw the excitement, and I was like, "Oh shit! Let me hop in on that." So I got it. It takes like when you inject money into like E-Trade, it takes a minute to get that money where you can actually do something with
He
it.
bought in at 300. He's diamond hands or whatever they would call it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I bought. I think I bought in at like just under 100, I think. So, and I
It's
watched.
got to be worth like nothing now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm actually down right now.
$21.
Yeah.
GameStop is $21.
What a
Yeah,
wild ride.
yeah.
Oh my god. 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I think. I mean, it was like $2,000 in total, so I think I'm down like 300 right now. Is what it looks like, but it still sucks.
Damn.
Yeah, I actually sold AMC on the first plateau of the movement. So it got to like 4 times my money, which I think I bought in at 5. It was at like $20. I was like, I sold off almost all of it. And then it shot up to like $60. And I was like, wow, but I didn't give a fuck. I made money.
I typically just trade options,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
So you're only shorting, and what is the opposite of shorting?
Long? You're long in a position.
So if you're betting on it to go up,
Betting on it to go up, you're going long.
yeah. But everybody likes to short because it's like this. It's like the sexy one. I feel like it's more predictable to predict a company that's going to go bad and sour than it is to predict a company that's going to shoot up. But
Till you're wrong.
mm,
Till you're wrong. But 9 times out of 10, it's pretty predictable. You can kind of see the firm structure and the evolution of the, like, for example, AMC during the pandemic. Obviously, it's going to go down because environmental factors. I mean, you're not going to have people going to the movies, and when they get back in, you want to go long because the pandemic stuff is lifting. They're coming out with really exciting new movies.
another question.
They're going to do well. Earnings are going to do well.
So who determines the price of the position? So if you're going to short something, is there somebody out there like a Vegas bookkeeper that is like, okay, this is how much you're going to pay for your, because you don't pay a full price. If you buy a short in a stock, right, you're paying like just a portion of the stock price. You're like buying a position.
No. So what you're doing during a short is you're borrowing a stock. So let's say let's equate this to like a switch. Let's say Chris has a switch that you're gonna. No, you know what? Let's do it the other way. Let's say Ryan has a switch that you're gonna sell to Chris, and you're gonna sell it at say $300 to Chris. Chris says, "Oh, that's a good deal. I'm gonna take the switch." This is before you even have it in your hands. Ryan still has it, so you've already sold it, and now let's say you're some kind of like crazy fortune teller, and you understand that the pandemic's coming, and the price of the switch is going to go from 300 to 500. It's going to go up, right? Oh no, let's say it's going to go down. You think it's going to go down because you're shorting it, but yeah, that's backwards. So you're selling it to him because you think it's going to go down. Technology technically goes down over time, so you don't foresee. Okay, so basically you sell them at 300, you expect to buy a switch in the future, say at 200, 250, and you pocket $100, $200, $150, right?
Yeah.
Giving it back to Ryan. Where it can go wrong is what I'm talking about, the pandemic. The pandemic is a environmental disruptor where the price of the switch actually went up to 500. That's where you lose money. So in the market, when you actually have to give the switch back to Ryan, you have to pay the $500, whatever the market price is. At the time, it was like $500. So you actually lose $200 giving Ryan back his Switch. Now there's no way to foretell unless like you're paying attention to like small incremental information on a macroeconomic level. But I mean, that's the risk you take to make a profit.
So what happens if you like don't want to pay it? So it doesn't cost you.
go
It doesn't
jail?
cost you anything to borrow the sock.
No, there's a premium you pay to the
Yeah,
person.
you pay the premium, right?
They make money on
So
interest.
if you default, they keep your premium and that's it. Or like that's what I was asking before. If you're
And-
shorting a position at $100 and you have like let's say you have like $1 million in shorts, like your big hedge fund, you have $1 million on shorts on a company, but it goes up and now you're in the hole, I don't know, a couple $1 million. You have to pay that?
Oh yeah. You
'cause
have to give them
borrowed.
back that stock at whatever price it is.
So you're just giving it back and then they
That's-
sell it and they make the money.
Yeah, you have to give them back whatever price it is. So you only want to short if you expect the price to go down.
So, and then you put a stop on it at some point. So if it goes up, you're like, hey, it can't go up more than $10 or else, do you put those like,
Yeah, you could put different like safety things. Like you could put a limit, limit stop on a price.
wouldn't you have to?
specified
Because what if it
price.
just shot up and up and up and into a point where you couldn't afford it? Like to pay back.
That's where a lot of people make mistakes. Is they don't put those stops, because they're not paying attention.
So there's people on Reddit that are like, hey man, I'm negative $22 million on my
raise.
positions. And what do?
Shit out of luck.
The bank man says,
Off to
I'm
jail they
I'm
go."
here for my money.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, there's
That's the risk, because the risk is you're going to be a millionaire. On the flip side, you got to it's a zero sum game at that point with options and with shorting and all the security derivatives. There's a zero sum game.
So I'm guessing at that point you
So-
just go bankrupt if you're that big in the hole.
I mean, if you don't have the money,
I mean that's what was happening during GameStop. GameStop was like at 25 and people were shorting that. So like, okay, I have this thing that's worth $25 and then the value shot up to like 650 was the peak. So they're like, what do I do with this? So they started buying GameStop stock to stop their bleeding. And then all that did was like push it up more.
I know
So,
they're
yeah,
doing
the
like
hedge fund
funny
guys
things.
like lost billions.
Yeah, but like, and they only have so many months to borrow the Switch, right? They have like it's like a 3-month position, or is it less? I don't know. Anyways, a bunch of bullshit. I think it's stupid. I'm on the board with Chris. I don't really think you should be able to short or long anything. I think it's a element of gambling that is put into the stock market when you've turned it into a game. You've turned it into like a casino. Whereas you're not investing in companies anymore. You're literally betting on companies, and really has a lot of negative effects on everything. Like when all these companies only care about their stock price, I think what happens is it turns out a bunch of shit.
yeah.
And
I mean, you can invest in. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I was gonna say I feel like it's one thing to bet on the don't pass line, to bet on the hey, I'm gonna short this stock, I think this stock's gonna go down. But with GameStop, they were doing the whole naked short thing, which is they were saying that they borrowed more stocks than they had in their possession. So they were leveraging their dollars. They're like, oh yeah, like I borrowed 100, I borrowed 100 shares. Well, GameStop was like, well, we only like 70 shares exist, and you're leveraging all these extra shares against me.
Yeah, phantom shares or something. I've heard the term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all
naked
yeah,
shorts.
it's all like way too confusing for the average person to understand. So therefore, it shouldn't exist. It's a major part.
Just buy low,
It's
sell
a
high.
major part of our economy, and these people are fucking with it on a daily basis, and it shouldn't exist.
I think it should. Why not?
Because you created
Why
an
not?
elitist game where only people that are highly educated can understand it, and
It's a buy to win game.
yeah,
Not necessarily. All this information is available
it's
online.
elitist. Most people can't digest that information.
If anyone is
Most
interested.
people could.
Okay.
I'm just saying, most people. It's not in layman's terms. It would take a serious amount of dedication to learn it. People have busy lives. Dude, I guarantee if you pulled 100 people off the street and had them explain to you any of the terms that you used in your speech, none of them would understand it. Most people that you pick off the street are not going to understand how the stock market works. and therefore it shouldn't exist.
I don't think anybody understands how the stock market works
Good, then it
100%.
shouldn't exist.
But I agree with you. I don't think anyone you pull off the street will actually understand it 100% because not everyone understands it.
Yet our economic lives depend on this thing, and that's bullshit. Shouldn't exist.
But in Angel's defense, should the smart people be punished because they understand the rules, even how complicated it is?
No, because you create a system that only caters to yourself, and I think that's the bank. Whatever. If they're gonna like
on
I think
like on Monopoly, the game Monopoly, did you know that if you land on a property and you choose not to buy it, other people have the opportunity to buy that piece? And did you also know that if you're playing Monopoly, yeah, I think it was like you do 4 greenhouses, and then the fifth one is like a hotel, right?
yeah.
So do you know if you just buy greenhouses, if all the greenhouses are bought up, no one can get to their hotels anymore. So one of the strategies is you just buy a bunch of houses. You buy as many properties as you can and just put houses on it. And when you own all the houses, no one else can buy houses and get to hotels. So then you just sit tight and wait for them to run out of money.
I
Playing by the
know
rules.
that Monopoly was a game created by somebody who wanted to prove to America that capitalism is fundamentally bad and will never work out in the long run.
Hey, Steven, I have a question.
Yeah. What?
So if a person's primary goal in his life is to make a lot of money, okay?
Yeah.
And does a lot of investigative journalism in how to make money. He does a lot of research into the financial markets, does a lot of research in tax law, and he figures out how to, in the words of Dave Chappelle, game the system. Why is that bad? If the other person has the same opportunity to do that, but their priority is very different. Their priority may be going after the hottest bitches in the world, which, hey, man,
you do you.
That's beautiful. Or it may be to beat the latest game, or it may be to advance in their field, right? Advanced technology. Whatever it is, should the person advancing in their own field, you know what I mean? Like have the same, give the other person the same kind of benefit. It's what you choose to focus your attention on. And the person who dedicates their time to understand the financial markets, who understand how the game is played, will benefit.
I disagree with you.
And why is that?
I think that you are putting everybody on a level playing field, and I think that's just fundamentally wrong. I think that's wrong for so many different reasons. Not everybody has access to gain that kind of knowledge. Not everybody has the ability to gain that kind of knowledge. When you're talking about the betterment of society and the human race as if you're just funneling all this money to the top, we're only these extremely smart mortgage these what do they call them, hedge funds, these extremely smart groups of people are generating all this wealth and investing their money and just playing money games. They're not doing any of the actual work. They're just fucking stroking their dicks in their office building, having like AI fucking coded software trading stocks all day, generating all this wealth that they keep at the top 0.001% of people. I don't think that's good for anybody. I think that the stock market's bullshit. They don't do any of the work to build these companies. They don't do any of the work to actually generate the income for this company, but yet they're reaping all the benefits. I think it's bullshit. And they're not like they're giving back to society. They're the most evil people in the world. Money hungry people are the most evil people in the world. And you're talking about a system that is created for elitists to dabble in. And yeah, it turns me off. I'm not a big fan of the stock market. I don't think it should exist in the way that it does today.
So understand the way you're talking about it. The people who are keeping the information and using AI and all that stuff, how are they keeping it from everybody else?
Because all this money funnels up to the top and then they keep it and they don't redistribute.
Now, what prevents other people from doing that?
What prevents them from doing what?
From doing the same thing?
Well, I don't think anybody can just go ahead and do that. I think it takes a considerable amount of money and comfort in life to take those kind of risks. And yeah, I don't think everybody has the ability or resources to learn what they need to learn in order to become an effective investor, small or big time.
So they don't have the information necessary to be a successful investor in
They can
this
find the
game.
information. I'm sure it's publicly available at this point to really teach yourself a lot about the market. But a lot of people are not smart enough to use that information effectively. A lot of people aren't comfortable with taking the risks that it would take to generate enough wealth to change their lot in life or their family's lot in life.
Oh, I actually agree with you there. I don't think a lot of people would actually take the risk. I think a lot of people would rather play it safe because it's actually really dangerous to put your livelihood at risk.
Yes,
But in this game, anyone can put their risk
sure.
on the
It's
line.
available to
You know, they could put
anybody.
their family on the line, and you can either lose and you can either win. And if you win, you're going to win big because the risk is so
Hmm.
big.
Well, I
What
come.
about the Bloomberg Tunnel?
What?
The Bloomberg Tunnel. So nowadays we have like E-Trade and Robinhood, and we have these things on our phones that show us information and stats and graphs and history and things like that. But before the age of the internet, you have the Bloomberg company created the Bloomberg Tunnel, which was the financial data software that
Terminal.
terminal. Oh, was I saying that wrong?
Yeah.
Bloomberg Terminal is what I meant to say. So when I look at that, I feel like that was a software that was developed for the professional companies on the stock market to be able to utilize and see all these stats and data and trends. And that terminal wasn't accessible by the average person, was it?
No, it is not.
Yeah. But
There's a
again, with
lot
the turn
of
of the internet,
information.
now it's kind of
It's a
available.
lot of information. I was actually watching Bloomberg a little bit ago. It's a lot of information that is available to those who have a subscription to the Bloomberg terminal before it's released out onto Bloomberg
Yeah.
about the market.
There's a lot of like that's not considered inside trading, like just big picture things here, because there's a lot of like,
It's not.
I mean, there's a lot of good things that have come from the stock market, like including retirement options and like doing 401ks and stuff like that and helping people out. I think I get more upset with like billionaires doing billionaire people shit and politicians, dabbling in the stock market so much and like it corrupting our system. And that's where I come from. And like I see shorting and longing as just like a weird unnecessary gamble that is added to the stock market. I feel like what's wrong with just either you invest in companies and based on their data and their like earnings and stuff like that, the stock goes up. Or if you don't like it anymore, you sell it and you don't invest in them anymore. What happened to that? That just seems like the only way it should
Fair
be.
point. Fair point. And it could be like, you can invest based on like financial performance and stuff like that. But then after a while it gets boring. They want to make it exciting, right?
Shouldn't be
So
exciting.
why
Shouldn't
not?
be a game.
If someone is to offer it and another person is willing of their free will to purchase it, I mean to gamble it, why not? I mean, they do it in Vegas all the time. And I'll tell you this: the odds in Vegas are way more in the
Clearly,
in favor of the house.
obviously.
Yeah.
Now, Angel, I feel like I do have one specific time in history. Again, we have this whole stock market world, but I think we have one time in history where I do feel like there was some specific cheating going on.
Ooh,
And it was because I noticed it and I got to be a part of the frustration, but it was Robinhood. So Robinhood was that app that you could buy stocks with. Okay. So when the GameStop squeeze was going on, meaning all these hedge funds were just hemorrhaging money, every time a person like you and I bought something on Robinhood, if we bought something, it's like the hedge funds lost two things or three things or four things because when the more stock we were buying, the more money they were losing. So Robinhood they stopped the purchase button. They turned the purchase button
For
off. They
GameStop.
said you could sell, yeah, for GameStop specifically. All the other ones worked, but GameStop you couldn't buy anymore, but you could sell. And in doing that, that gave the hedge fund everyone some breathing room to start funneling more money into there so that they could pay back on all these stocks that they shorted that they had to pay
Are
back
you
on.
telling me that rich people, like billionaire class, have certain advantages and loopholes and exploits that they can use to their advantage in a system that is totally fair for everybody, according to Angel?
That was one that felt personal because I tried to log in there and I said I want to buy more because if
Yeah.
I buy more I'll make more and they'll lose more, and they're like, nope, we're gonna stop that right now.
Chris, I actually agree with you. I don't think they should have stopped that. I think they should have just let the market decide.
Yeah.
And that's even if it's a meme.
That was South Park had a skit on that. The Stan went down to the bank. He's like, I want to deposit $100. Like, okay, great. Okay, and your money's gone. He's
And
like,
it's gone.
Well, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's gone. We took it, we invested it, we lost it, it's not there anymore. He's like, well, I want my $100 back. You can't, it's gone. It was a very watered down version, but yeah, I could see that. I mean, with turning the buy button off, I was thinking, it was high risk, high reward for you guys to do the shorts anyways. So when the tables got fairly turned on you, that was the risk you walked into, and so now you're paying the piper on that.
They don't play by the same rules.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: the general education system does not educate on financial principles, which is a huge issue. I think that everybody should be educated on financial principles and how money should work. And those who kind of get the hint that, hey, maybe we need to learn how money works, do the research. Everything is online. Every single thing is available online for free. Absolutely free. There's no secret. Absolutely free. So those interested, Google it. Seriously, just Google it, and it's there. And if you have an idea of like the questions you're going to ask, you have to be really insightful. If you have no idea what you're asking, kind of understand what you want to ask. Ask the question, and the answer is there, because the public education system does not have it. So, and that's my take on the decisions were made. This guy decided that he was going to punish the brokers who he thought were shorting under the table. Turns out it was completely legal. So
sounds like a real jackass.
You're cutting into Angel. You're cutting into my Diablo time. I could have been playing Diablo right now.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A freaky evening just for you all. Brisk, frisky, maybe a little pricey, fantastic nonetheless. Big thank you for supporting the Coin Op Cowboys. And boys, let's lead them out.
Roll Tide.
And remember, the cream always rises to the top.